5 years ago, the U.S. brought leaders from Israel, Morocco, the United Arab Emirates, and Bahrain together to sign the Abraham Accords. I'm Megan Alexander, and this is Middle East Tomorrow. Go to partners.foxnews.com/Met. Hi, I'm Megan Alexander, and this is Middle East Tomorrow. 5 years ago, the U.S. brought leaders from Israel, Morocco, the United Arab Emirates, and Bahrain together to sign the Abraham Accords. That historic day ignited a cross-border movement of changemakers who are joining forces to reshape the region. Join me as I uncover the stories of the people transforming the Middle East today and tomorrow. Go to partners.foxnews.com/Met.
Live from New York, the show that's wishing a very happy birthday to LL Cool J.
LL Cool J is hard as
Dope.
He's dope.
Bro, you're
all-time
I thought you were
great.
going to swear on it.
No.
Bro
All-time
nailed
great.
his age to the year.
58?
Yeah.
I knew he was like around my age.
Similar physiques.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, you have,
I got bars like that.
also, you have that goat tattoo in the microphone. First hour of First Things First. Today, Steelers are looking for a new coach. But are we sure this is actually a great job? We made a list, and by we, I asked Nick if he could make a list, and I sat back and ate Sour Patch Kids. Meanwhile, after a stunning 8-0 victory, Coach Mangini passes the baton to Greg Jennings to see if he can deliver another W in the divisional round of Must-Win. And finally, special edition of Tears coming up at 4 o'clock. A little abridged version of Tears. There's only a handful of teams.
Yeah.
I don't know I'm kind of done with the Caleb thing.
Buddy, you don't
that
like
video
Caleb.
is
I like Caleb
buddy,
a lot. I
you
love
don't.
Caleb. Friend of the show. He was on the show.
Look at his face.
I was even
America.
This
America,
is just.
look
I'm
at
just.
his
I
face.
think it's a lot.
KW, you don't have to like everyone.
I do.
You don't
I'm like
believe.
Drew.
You don't believe in. Drew actually does like everyone. He's a great person.
I am
You're
too.
a bad guy who's a good actor.
I am too.
And you're allowed.
I will say this: is there a photo of? And I'm not saying they can win the Super Bowl, but is there a photo of any of the recent Super Bowl quarterbacks doing something like that? I'm just asking.
When I say it,
and I like Caleb. I do
too.
I'm just saying, like, it's funny. I
This
think
is
it's
the like
fun. He's
Caleb
having
zone
fun.
over
No, but
He's having fun.
it's okay for. There's a real.
I like
to
that.
answer your answer, Brew, probably not. But for you, KW, it's there's a reason for you to be like not anti, but Caleb skeptical.
Oh, he's worried. Yeah, he's
But
worried.
because him and Drake May.
Yeah, you're worried.
Same draft
Here's what I
class.
say
See?
You know what I like when Vrabel went in the locker room and said, "Oh, the Chargers." Settle down.
See, there you go.
What-
He's making fun of Ben Johnson now.
Ben Johnson
Oh.
just. I like Ben Johnson.
See, just lean into
You
it.
gotta love his locker room.
It also makes
sorry.
sense
It's
because you don't
hard.
like Perkins either. So
We're starting with the Steelers search. Pittsburgh embarks on their first coaching search in nearly 2 decades. After Tomlin decides to step away, the team has been a model of success and stability. Also, they might not have a quarterback, and at 27 and a half, they have the oldest roster in the NFL, but that may drop if Rodgers decides to retire. Like Adam Thielen. Congratulations on Adam Thielen calling it a career.
Well, even if he doesn't retire, I mean, why
he's
would
not
they
going to go
bring him
back there. He signed there for
Why
Tomlin.
would he go back, and why
Yeah.
would they bring him back?
No, he
Just
probably.
trying
no
to
reason.
guys, I'm just trying to kick it around.
Okay.
27 and a half is not that old. All right, here are the head coach openings. There's a lot of them. Brew, how do you view the Steelers' open job?
Well, look, I'll comment on Nick's list, but for me, obviously, to me, the Baltimore job is number one.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson, period. You got your quarterback. But I think after that, Steelers is the second best job. And I say, obviously, they don't have a quarterback. Some of these other teams don't as well. But that stability, like you go there, you know. And honestly, if you're so bad they get rid of you in a year or two, that just means you weren't ready. They picked the wrong guy. I think they're going to give you a chance, a legitimate chance to be their coach for the next 10, 15 years. Mm-hmm. And they take pride in the fact that they've only had 3 coaches since 1969. So the last thing they want to do is hire somebody and get on that cycle of, hiring all these different coaches. So, the stability there, I think, makes it number one. And look, they got about $40 million, I think, they can spend in free agency. That could increase if they do, as Nick suggested yesterday, start trading away some of the older players. I just think it's obviously a great organization. I even think the fan base, after years of being good but not great and making the playoffs and winning 10 games and losing in the first round, I think they'll be fine with a rebuild year.
Okay.
Maybe 2 year and a half, something like that. But I just think you get the job security that you may not get in other places.
Yeah, I think if I were ranking attractiveness of jobs, which I'm going to give my full list in a second, but if I were one of the coaches, you have to approach it from a place of realism across the league, not optimism, which is half of these jobs you might not even want your wife and kids to move for.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
half
the way
of these,
it's happening now, yeah.
We're renting.
You're right. Like if you had high school age kids, you might be like,
Oh, yeah.
you know, it's going to be tough, but I don't want to pull you out because, again, 14 of the 32 teams fired their coach either this season or 1 year ago. And one of those teams did it twice. So for the almost half the league has changed coaches in the last 2 seasons. And when I go over this list, I think you're going to see how being a head coach somewhere for 5 years means, man, you must have done something really good. And so the fact that the Steelers and the Ravens to an extent, but really the Steelers because of the long history of it, have a reputation of you are going to get real time. That is the best thing that's going for it, and it's why it's going to be high on my list, KW.
Okay, here we go. Here's the list.
9-1, worst to best. The worst job opening is the Cleveland Browns.
Ooh.
Just awful ownership, a brutal division. They have $136 million cap dollars still to pay Deshaun Watson.
That's ridiculous.
136.
How many years is that?
He has 1 year left.
No, but I mean, how on the cap? How many years left is that on the cap?
Well, they split. It's going to be technically he has this year and then a massive void charge. It's a disaster. Is the short version of it.
Andrew Berry.
And I would also listen. If
Really?
you really think Shador is a star, then you pump him up. I think Shador is actually, if I'm looking at jobs, almost for a future head coach, a potential net negative just in that, man, if he doesn't play well, there's going to be a portion of the fan base that says I'm sabotaging him. Like it's just harder than a situation of a blank slate at quarterback. So they're the worst job open. Number 8 is the Tennessee Titans. Since Amy Adams-Strunk has taken over, it has been a constant turnover of GM, head coach, GM changes. They had Mike Vrabel. He lost a power struggle with the GM, who since they are twice removed from. Other than Jeff Simmons, I don't know that there's one player on the roster that I love. Hey. And then Cam Ward.
He showed some promise at the end.
Right, but if you're very high on Cam Ward, this job's better than I have it. But the only player on the roster that I feel like I know is excellent is Jeff Simmons. They do have the second most money in the 4th pick of the draft. Number 7, Miami Dolphins. Since Don Shula, okay, no coach has made it past 4 years. That's this century. Nice. Since Stephen Ross bought the team in 2009, they've had 5 head coaches and 2 interim coaches. They have mediocre draft assets, and they are in a brutal cap situation because they really went for it a couple years ago, and they're going to owe that money to Tua.
Tua just signed in 2024.
Right.
He's signed through 2028, and he's a backup right now. All that money.
I don't know where we're at with Tyreek's injury.
Yep.
But Waddle, the Bills wanted Waddle. If Tyreek goes somewhere, could they tear it down and start fresh with a new coach?
Yeah, I think that's what they'll have to do. But my point is they're not going to be able to. They can tear it down. What they can't do is what the Patriots did this offseason and go on a quick spending spree of veteran players to try to get good quickly.
Yeah.
It will be a teardown. Number 6, the Arizona Cardinals. One winning season in the last decade. They are moving on from Kyler, I would imagine, and they're in a very tough division. However, they have the 3rd overall pick. They're an above-average cap situation for this year and moving forward. It's like a fine job. I think the other ones are really, really, really hard. Number 5, the Atlanta Falcons. So I don't believe they have the quarterback, and they don't have a first-round pick this year because they traded that to Atlanta. They have won exactly 7 or 8 games in 7 of the last 8 years. They are just the league average of, sorry kids, mid. And they have an average cap situation, but it's the worst division in football every year.
Yeah.
And it does feel like they have a few blue chippers.
Yes.
That if you got the quarterback in place, that maybe you could quickly win a division. Number 4, the New York Giants. Do you like Jackson Dart is the question you've got to ask yourself there. Now, Joe Shane is still there. I do wonder that if in order to get John Harbaugh, it were a Liam Cohen situation where you remember Trent Baalke stayed in Jacksonville and then they wanted Liam Cohen. He was like, I'll come if you let me have a say in who the GM is. I'm not trying to get Joe Shane fired. My point is, could a head coach like Harbaugh say, I want to pick the GM rather than the GM pick me? But here's what's remarkable. Since Tom Coughlin, Ben McAdoo lasted less than 2 years, Pat Shurmur 2 years, Joe Judge 2 years, Brian Daboll 3.5 years. So since Coughlin, they've just been on the carousel. They do have the number 5 pick in the league average cap situation. Number 3, the Raiders. If you like Mendoza, then your biggest issue for the franchise is fixed. You have the number 1 pick. I know people say there's not a good quarterback draft, and Dante Moore going back makes it even less of a good quarterback draft. But it doesn't have to be a good quarterback draft if you have pick 1-1 and there's one quarterback in it you like. Now, they have the number 1 pick and a ton of money, Brew. Yeah. Now, what is remarkable is, you remember Art Shell, the late Art Shell? Art Shell's first stint with the Raiders ended just over 30 years ago. Since then, they have had 14 head coaches. And other than John Gruden, who had a long tenure and then came back with a decent length tenure before it ended in disgrace, and Jack Del Rio, who got 3 years, they've had a dozen head coaches and none of them made it 3 years. So they have money to spend. They're in a new, cool stadium. They're in a new city, and they have number 1 pick. And then I agree with you entirely, bro. Number 2 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have a few extra picks. They've had 3 coaches in 55 years. They're in a good cap situation that can get even better. And you have stability. And the best job is the Ravens, because even though they're in a tough cap situation, they're in a tough division, but they have really good ownership and they have a star quarterback in place, which makes it obviously the best job. And so that's how I would rank them 1 through 9.
Can I push back on the narrative that is just being unchallenged, that the Steelers take pride in only having 3 coaches, which I think they do. But we looked it up in the break, and I don't know if you can remember it or not. Cowher and Tomlin got there and immediately started to win,
yes,
and then very quickly won a Super Bowl. So I wonder if the Steelers take pride in winning quickly and often and consistently, more so than they value having a stable coach. I think if a coach comes in and there's 1 losing season, 2 losing seasons, I don't think we're the Steelers. We don't.
No, I
think they're more used to winning than they are the stability in the coaching.
I think they'll look at how the coach is doing. If they tear it down and give up some of their veterans and are kind of starting over roster-wise, and the coach wins 5 games and then 6 games his first 2 years, I think it'll be, what does the coach look like? What are you seeing in the building? What are you seeing in the locker room? What are you seeing on the field? I thought a Jonathan Gannon did a pretty good job in Arizona, even though the record didn't show. And I think in a situation like that, the Steelers might feel like we could keep him, or somebody that's doing like that, based on what they see versus just the record.
I just feel like it's so hard to. I think it's so hard to find a quarterback, a coach who's losing games but losing them You're
look, a
seeing
lot of
gold
coaches who
in the-
might get hired, Mike McDaniel might get hired. I mean, he did do some winning in
He had a
Miami,
winning
but
record.
still, recently, Saleh, people take Kevin Stefanski. People take into consideration the situation you're in. too.
I also would, just very quickly, I've always wondered, I've talked with Coach a bit about this off the air, that I'm not going to name but a coach that is generally thought of, it didn't work. He did a bad job at one shot. If that coach got hired and the contract read, if I fire you within 7 years, I have to give you ownership of the team. Meaning you are going,
Yes.
you get 7,
Right,
no matter,
right.
would almost any coach, unless they're total incompetent, if they have the security of, I'm going to get time, I don't have to do panic moves, trading away future picks in year 3 because I don't have to re-sign a mediocre quarterback that I don't really believe in, like I think happened with Dable and the Giants, because I don't want to bottom out. I know I am going to get at least a half decade for my vision to come in. Would that instantly make them a top 10 coach? Because by the time
having that security?
the security and the fact that all these other teams are on the carousel, and 5 years in, you have your system, you have your staff. This is the types of players we want in the draft. This is how we run practice. And so I wonder if the Steelers have learned how much you benefit from that stability, and therefore they will have a longer leash than other teams would.
I think you make a lot of sense. I don't think they've learned. Chuck Noll obviously is in a completely different era, no free agency, totally different. Cowher, they just happened to get two good coaches in Cowher and Tomlin, and they had the quarterback over both of those guys' careers, Ben Roethlisberger. So I think that is more. I think it's just kind of happenstance. Hey, our coach is actually good and we're winning versus we don't fire guys. So.
Quick pop quiz. Who do you think is taking snaps week 1 in Pittsburgh?
Gosh.
Kyler Murray.
So then you're going to be.
I think Malik Willis has to be in there too.
Yeah. I think Malik Willis.
If Tomlin was there, I would say, assuming Rodgers didn't come back, it would be Malik Willis. I think the worst job, I agree with our bottom 4 were not in the same order, but I thought the worst job was Miami. Tua is contracted on a $215 million contract or whatever it is through 2028, and he's your backup right now. I mean, ended the season as a backup, so that's a tough situation. And we've seen it. I don't know whether it's lifestyle, whatever, it's tough to win big down there.
Also, Myles Garrett should ask for a trade again.
Okay.
Yeah, just saying.
I had Cleveland at 7.
Yeah, it's probably really because you have a little more faith in Shedeur than me. You think they might have the quarterback and he's free.
Right, and so Schwartz, it looks like they're going to keep Jim Schwartz as the DC, so their defense should be pretty good. I don't know that they'll give up Myles.
All right, move on to Baltimore. Lamar Jackson goes into next year with a new coach. Will he also have a new contract? Sounds like it. Here's Ravens owner Steve Bisciotti.
We want another window, and Lamar knows that. And I think that he's amenable to doing something that mirrors the last deal he did, although the annual number will be a little higher. But I'm hoping that it's plug a new number in the same contract he signed last year and move on. And the urgency of that matters to me because we've got free agents, and I don't want to go into free agency with that hanging over our head. And I made that clear to Lamar, and I think he was very appreciative of my stance.
Literally the exact opposite of Jerry Jones. Would you give Lamar a new contract, bro?
Absolutely. Like, it's a no-brainer. I feel like Bisciotti feels. He's 29 years old. He's smack dab in the middle of his prime. And even last season, off a down year, here are some of his numbers on a down season. Passer rating, he still was 4th in the league. Yards per attempt, 3rd in the league. Touchdown percentage, because he was 21, 3rd in the league and top 10 in TD to interception ratio. And we know he had that bad 5-game stretch. But in one of those games, he threw 2 interceptions. So he had one game where he threw 2 interceptions, but never more than 2, and that was only one time. Like, his bad games were he wasn't completing passes at his typical rate. So he was like in the 50s as far as completion percentage, and he wasn't throwing any touchdowns. But I believe, Nick, he was hurt. Now, it was apparently nagging type of stuff, but I think it limited him. We know he was healthy the first 4 games, got hurt in the 4th game against Kansas City. We know he was healthy when he came back against Miami. And then we know he was healthy in the last game against Pittsburgh. Other than that, he was hurt. Here's the, I don't know, what is that, 6 games he was healthy. 6 games where he didn't miss practice that week and didn't have an injury. Those are his numbers. I mean, so as his running declines, Nick, I think he's become a very good passer.
So I think this is. I think this is.
But those are I'm making that point that those are the games he was healthy. So,
but it's not the games, Brew. That includes his first game after his injury.
Yeah, and he came back healthy.
So he came back healthy and played great in that game. When did he get hurt?
Well, I'm going off the injury report and him missing practice.
Okay.
So the weeks he did not miss practice, this is what he did.
Okay. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with that.
That's a fact.
He's about to go to war about it.
No, I mean,
you wouldn't sign him?
So I think Steve Bisciotti's a very smart guy, and I think it's very interesting what he said. Because I would do exactly what Steve Bisciotti said he would do.
Oh, pencil in a new number?
Yeah.
But
that same contract you signed before that was nothing close to fully guaranteed, that contract with a raise, deal. I would 100% do that. If
But
Lamar
it was a
Jackson,
good amount of it. How much was guaranteed?
$135 million out of $260. Half of it. $135 million guaranteed. He's going to want more than that.
And
Steve Bisciotti also told us, because his cap figure is $75 million. He was like, yeah, if something doesn't get done, then we just tack on some void years and we make sure. So he made it, to me, what he made it clear was, we don't have a gun to our head in the form of this $75 million cap figure because we can just tack on void years and honor this contract. And yeah, now Lamar deserves a raise, and I'll give him a raise. And I agree. Lamar deserves a raise, even though I think it's fair to say, far more down on Lamar Jackson's 2025 season than you are.
And it was a bad, don't get me wrong, it was a bad season. But I'm saying even in a bad season, those were his numbers.
Right. And I think the numbers were better than the play was. But regardless, but even with that said, he deserves a raise because where he is, even in a bad year amongst NFL quarterbacks. But if Lamar wants, after winning another MVP and 2 first-team All-Pros, something similar to what he wanted 3 years ago, which is a fully guaranteed top-of-market deal, I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. I am saying, then I guess we're going to play this out. And we can revisit in 1 year, because in 1 year, Lamar will have real leverage because he'll have 1 year left on his deal and he has a no tag clause. You know what I mean? So like he could hit true free agency at 31 and go test what the market is. But Lamar, I said it the other day, and I don't know if people got upset with me. It just is what it is. It surprised people. In the last 5 years, he has been exactly as available as Joe Burrow. They have played to the game the same number of football games. In the last 5 years, Lamar Jackson has played in the playoffs twice. I believe he is coming off the worst year of his career by far, and the best version of why this year was the way it was for Lamar is because he was injury-riddled. I am not interested in giving 5 years of fully guaranteed money to a 29-year-old mobile quarterback coming off an injury-riddled season. So if it's just a raise, absolutely, I'll give Lamar Jackson a raise, with a similar structure.
Nobody's been getting fully guaranteed money, I know he wanted that last time.
Why would he not want it now, is my question.
Well, why he settled for less last time.
If
talked about a trade, but settled for less.
Mm-hmm. So if he'll take what Steve Bisciotti's talking about, then I think that is a huge, that's great for both sides. Lamar gets a raise and the Ravens maintain some risk against if he ages the way most mobile quarterbacks have aged.
But he throws it better than most mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah,
There's no question. He's all-time leader with Aaron Rodgers in passer rating.
Yeah, but when you say it like that,
It's true.
I know, but it's like pure throwers of the football. It's like
he didn't run this year.
Rodgers won.
And
Lamar
his backup ran better than him.
And he wasn't good this year.
But when he was healthy, he was.
But what?
The first 4 games, was he good?
No, not against the Chiefs.
The first 4 games?
Not against the Chiefs.
That's
he
one
certainly
game.
Wasn't. Well, that's a quarter of the sample.
He wasn't good against Buffalo?
Brew, he was awesome.
Oh, my gosh.
I didn't say any. Brew.
You said he wasn't good the first 4 games.
No, I didn't.
I asked you, was he good the first 4 games? You said no.
He wasn't good. I thought you were asking me, was he good every single one of the first 4 weeks? He was
good 4 of his first 5 games.
I think he was awesome against Buffalo. He was awesome against Cleveland. He was bad. Kansas City was game 3, and he got hurt. Kansas City was the 3rd game of the year, and he got hurt.
So did he?
And then the 4th game of the year.
I thought was his 5th game.
The 4th, not as far as I know, is the 4th game of the year against the. Am I wrong about this? Do I have it wrong?
I thought okay.
He came back against Miami and was out of this world, right? Yeah.
4
and
touchdowns.
then I don't.
And then he was good at the end against Pittsburgh.
And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Kansas City was the 4th game. Maybe I have it wrong. I thought Lamar this year, one of the reasons he was not as effective, and I think this is what Wilds is referring to, was because teams weren't threatened by his running. And I think that would concern me moving forward. Not enough to where I wouldn't give him a raise, but it would concern me moving forward.
Coming up next, special edition of Must-Win. Hubs in my ear said Kansas City was week 4.
Week 4 game, yeah.
When was Eagles Chiefs?
It was a 3rd game. Was it Detroit 3rd, maybe?
I'll trust you. I was wrong. If I was stone wrong, I was wrong.
Nearly home. Isn't home where we all want to be? Reba here for Realtor.com, the pros' #1 most trusted app. If you're hearing me, I'm going to assume you're awake. And if you aren't, because while you're snoozing, someone else might be finding your dream home. That's where Realtor.com comes in. With over 500,000 new real listings straight from the pros every month, that's a lot of chances to find the place you've been dreaming of. Whether you're searching for a 2-story mid-century with a pool or a little extra space with a spa-inspired bathroom, Realtor.com can help you find it today. So quit hitting that snooze button. Realtor.com isn't sleeping on finding your dream home, and neither should you. Download the Realtor.com app today, 'cause you're nearly home. Make it real with Realtor.com.
Pros #1 most trusted app based on August 2024 proprietary survey. Over 500,000 new listings every month based on average new for sale and rental listings. February 2024 through January 2025.
Check out the podcast, Best in the World. We're at 16 million views. Really 17, let's be honest with you. Until we get to 1 billion views on YouTube. Thank you for your continued support. Best YouTube channel in the country, I believe, not globally. Time now for the most literal segment of this segment of all time. The division round version of Must-Win. First up, Bills-Broncos, Saturday afternoon. Bills do a great job protecting Josh, 4th lowest pressure percentage, but Broncos pressure QBs at the 2nd highest rate. So quite a conundrum here. Greg, coach had a 8-0 victory last week, so he's passing the baton to you. Would you like to pass or play on the divisional round segment of Must-Win?
We're playing. Let's ride.
Let's ride.
He has
That
his game face
Broncos
on.
on mine.
Gosh.
Little Russell
wasn't,
Wilson
but it-
Broncos on mine.
He got his
I
game
like
face
it a
on.
lot.
He must have taken some smelling salts before this segment.
Okay.
Go ahead, Greg.
It's on me.
Well, you just said your pass or play. You
Oh,
said
let's go. High expectations were set before the season even started. Sean Payton, get it done.
Oh.
Absolutely.
He stole your must-win?
Look, not only did he say, we could win the division, short-term goal, long-term goal. This team is capable of winning the championship.
Facts.
Well, we all kind of scoffed at the idea. Well, guess who's sitting at the #1 overall seed, hosting Josh Allen and the Bills? Understanding what's at stake, he has delivered. And now if he gets this win against Josh Allen, who is the favorite quarterback to go on, because there's no Patrick Mahomes, there's no Joe Burrow, there's no Lamar. We know the drill. It didn't matter to Sean Payton. He believed in this team from the start, and he's going to have a lot of us believing that they can actually get it done if he delivers against Josh Allen and the Bills.
Great start.
Greg is correct on who it is, but I'm going to tell you really why. Because
Thank you.
Sean Payton, no, you're right.
Thank you for the point.
Sean Payton has also pre-celebrated. He did it last year when they were up 7-0 on the Bills in the playoffs, only to see the Bills score 31 straight, and then afterwards told everyone, yeah, had we not gotten curb stomped by them, we probably would have gone to the Super Bowl. We liked our matchup in the next round. He then also, as recently as yesterday, is treating people who cover the team as if they're just an inconvenience or a nuisance for, I don't know, asking football Jesus Sean Payton legitimate questions. Here's Sean Payton when asked about the return of Dre Greenlaw and his ability to stop the run.
John, having Greenlaw back for this game, his ability to attack downhill in the run game, just how big is that and the timing of it for this one?
You want him to attack downhill? Is that your, like, what do you know about attacking downhill in the run game? You don't know. All right, that's right.
Yeah, it's all. Listen.
That's not good.
As long as you win,
He might
as
have a
long as
relationship with
he
the
might,
reporter.
he might.
I hope
but
so.
I'm
I
just
hope
that was right. Or maybe he's just kind of known to be a bit of a jerk at times. I don't know. What I do know is next year the Denver Broncos play the Bills, the Patriots, the Seahawks, the Rams, the 49ers, the Chargers twice, the Steelers twice, next year. Meaning this is your moment.
Okay.
This is your opportunity.
It's amazing how two guys can be so wrong. Sean Payton, 2 years ago, the Denver Broncos were a mess. They were in Miami Dolphins territory where they had a quarterback with a huge salary that they didn't want, that was coming off the bench. And what did Sean Payton do? In 2 years, they are the #1 seed and have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. If they lose this game, people in Denver are just going to be like, we're there, though. No. And your quarterback is just in his second year, and we know the quarterback's not that good. The guy is Sean McDermott. There are real tangible things at stake for Sean McDermott, like his job.
He's not getting fired.
Maybe not. Maybe not. But Sean Payton, we know is not getting fired. And again, he's getting praise for getting them this far, this fast. Sean McDermott, real tangible things at stake. Nobody's going to kill. Some people will kill Josh Allen, but nobody.
You landed the plane. 1-0 Brew. Easy.
Why?
You guys split votes. You guys said the same thing.
And it
How did I
really?
split a vote and I started?
Hey. Wow. San Francisco in Seattle Saturday night on Fox. Seahawks more than touchdown favorites after beating Brock by 10 in Week 18. Brock was dismal on 3rd and 4th down. 2 for 11. 18%. Worst in any game since 2022. Nick, this is your ball.
Yeah.
Who's it a must-win for?
There's only one correct answer here. Everyone's going to agree, so much so I won't even mind if you guys just copy off my paper. It's Sam Darnold, and it's only Sam Darnold.
It's his
valuable biggest career moment
Greg should-
by a mile. If Sam Darnold loses this game, he's simply never going to be trusted.
Oof.
Against
Permanent
this
pumpkin.
you know what? That's exactly what I was about to say. Permanent pumpkin mode. You took the words right out of my mouth, Judge. Against this defense in this spot, this rest advantage, it's Sam Darnold and only Sam Darnold.
Excellent.
Brew?
Right down the middle.
It's Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to waste my breath. It's Sam Darnold.
Yes.
Let's go, Clint! Kubiak, you're the only one that can control the mindset of Sam Darnold with the play calling, the scheme, the preparation, sitting in the meeting room, putting into him the idea that he can be the guy in this moment that he hasn't been. I'm not going to talk about Sam because, Clint, you're like the puppet master.
Oh, my goodness.
If you orchestrate the perfect game plan, any player, including Sam, will go into a game with the level of confidence and belief that they can get it done. Clint Kubiak.
Effort.
And
Yeah, it's a good try.
let's go get the head coaching job somewhere.
It's a good try.
Appreciate you.
All right, Nick's up. Or Nick's
It's a
on
good
the
try.
Nick's on the
How did he
board
get
now.
two?
Oh, sorry, that's actually just.
Whoa!
That's actually.
Whoa!
That's actually just a charismatic
I'm starting to think I'm just
one.
not beloved in this.
What are you talking about?
I mean, I had to split with
blame
Nick.
the refs.
They didn't get Doc to split because they both said Sam, but I.
No, I mean,
He didn't even try.
I said, hey.
Texans up
Nick's
against
got that.
Drake and the Patriots Sunday afternoon. New England a top 2 offense, Houston a top 2 defense. Last 10 years, 6 of these matchups. The offense has won 4 of these games, only lost 2. This one is worth 2 points. Who's it a must-win for?
C.J. Stroud. Every other big name in this game is playing with house money. DeMeco Ryans, if they lose, nobody's killing him. He's created the best defense in the league. He resurrected that franchise from a few years ago when Deshaun Watson had demanded his way out and they looked done. Like they might as well fold up the franchise. He's brought him back. Drake May, second-year quarterback, first year in the playoffs. Nobody's killing. He won his playoff game. Nobody's killing him if against the best defense in the league, he loses. And Mike Vrabel might be the coach of the year. He has revitalized that historic franchise. C.J. Stroud has gone from, the golden child, future MVP, maybe his second year, to, is he the reason they can't win the Super Bowl? So it's on C.J.
Excellent.
C.J. Stroud.
Oh my gosh, guys.
No,
Drake
Nick,
May is living your football life that we all thought it was yours. The prophecy. Second year, your coach believes in you. He goes and gets everybody defensively because we have the guy. And now you have to go into Foxborough playing a guy that is literally doing everything that we thought you would be doing. Have some competitive drive, some pride about yourself, and go out there and execute. C.J. Stroud, this is all on you.
Huh. It's a good answer. The right answer, though, is Mike Vrabel.
Interesting.
Because he can't let DeMeco Ryans come snatch his chain. These guys, whether they know it or not, have been competing their whole lives. Mike Vrabel was a really, really good high school recruit at linebacker. Good enough to go to Ohio State. DeMeco Ryans, just a little better, went to Alabama. Mike Vrabel was a third-round pick. DeMeco Ryans, same position, same idea. Second-round pick. Mike Vrabel was good as a rookie. DeMeco Ryans, defensive rookie of the year. Mike Vrabel, one-time Pro Bowler. DeMeco Ryans, two-time Pro Bowler. Now they're coaches. Mike Vrabel's Mr. Tough Guy. The guy I'm getting bloody lips. My team playing your team in a very similar situation. DeMeco Ryans, who was the slightly better player, high school, college, and pro, beats Mike Vrabel in his building, be like, hey, buddy, I'm the better coach, too. The big, tough linebacker turned coach that everyone wants, it'd be me. Nothing against you, Mike. You've been good. You just haven't ever quite been DeMeco Ryans. It's Mike Vrabel.
How many Coach of the Year and Super Bowl rings does DeMeco Ryan have?
What? Well, let's see. Let's see. Let's see.
2 points for Brew.
What?
Finally, Rams at Bears.
I thought Nick was
This
good.
is
but
very-
he said he wasn't
I
good.
pass.
Right. You're like, no facts. Where the facts?
Rams
It's a nice
at
story.
Bears.
He did
Where
a
the
whole
facts?
salad of Vrabel, DeMeco, everybody else.
What?
Drake
You
May,
had
blah,
me
blah, blah,
there.
blah,
Thank you,
blah.
bro.
But
It's
why
a nice
was- why was
storyline.
it about
It's
facts?
a nice
It was a nice
storyline.
story.
Nobody's
Nice
thinking
story.
about. I knew you guys were going to go
Completely
CJ.
false,
I
but
thought it was
It's
good.
not
I thought,
false.
how did Ohio
It's
State
true.
do against Alabama?
Right, exactly.
I wasn't sure.
On State, Alabama.
Stafford favored in the divisional
6-7,
round.
You know?
6-7.
He should be docked all his points.
No, I should get a little bit of
For doing
extra points.
6-7 stuff?
Yes,
I actually-
making you laugh in the break. That's what I did.
It's not the break. I'm trying to do the news
I'm in
read.
the break between the questions.
3 of the last 4 road favorites lost, and the Rams are favorites, so they might lose. Greg, it's back to you. This is worth 4, so it's still anybody's ball game.
I honestly feel like
It's anybody's
you guys,
ball game.
because you guys are in the meeting.
He's throwing
Oh
it
my
down.
gosh! I thought we had the heart of a champion.
But Matthew Stafford, legacy game.
Oh,
Legacy. I'm talking, there's not a long list of guys that have 2 championships and a potential MVP attached to their name. This is a legacy game, a legacy statement. This is a team that you're familiar with, an organization that you're familiar with. You played in these inclement weather opportunities. You have to get it done. We'll talk more about your entire team, but this is about you. You have to show up. You have to deliver. You've done it all season long. You can't come up short in this moment. Go get your legacy, man. First ballot. Hall of Famer.
Ballot.
You get this done, first ballot. MVP, 2 championships, first ballot.
He wins the championship if they win this week?
No.
Dennis Allen.
You went back to history, high school.
I went back to things that have happened. I haven't presumed things will have happened.
I said
in the future.
legacy game.
Dennis Allen, everybody knows the Rams offense against the Bears defense is a mismatch. What are you mad about? Everybody knows that. If Dennis Allen can cook up, he's the defensive coordinator for the Bears.
I know.
I'm just letting you know. You seem so shocked. Just want to make sure we're all on the same page.
Yeah. Not a huge name, you know.
Not a huge name, but maybe the most.
You're in an
Everybody's going to
airport,
be
you're like,
focused on
Dennis Allen.
Why are you so focused on the airport?
Because
this is
people
the
love the show in the airport. Shout out to you if you're taking a flight right now. Now, great, it could be Caleb.
Yeah.
Number 1 pick, generational guy. We're focusing on the linebackers coach.
No, he's not the
Never a good
linebacker.
sign when the judge interrupts
Dennis
your
Allen.
answer.
He didn't like Dennis Allen.
Starts
He was on the
cooking.
same. Oh, he's quitting.
No, I had great
Do I
analysis.
even need to
You didn't
go?
want it. You didn't want it.
I want to.
Too bad. Bruce,
I
go
don't
ahead.
even think I need to go to get this way. I mean, my goodness. You talk about crash outs. All right, here we go. It's Nick Wright.
What? What if the fumble at the goal line?
Is the Nick?
I got it, baby!
Let me finish. I didn't go yet. Let me finish. Is the Nick pick becoming the kiss of death in the NFC?
Interesting.
Let me take you through it.
No.
Like Nick took you through.
I don't know, we have
I'm going to
enough
take you
time.
through with some facts. Last year, Chicago Bears win the Super Bowl. They don't even make the playoffs.
I can't believe it.
They
I'm
don't
sorry, we're running out of time.
Will you listen to half the base doesn't make
Greg Jennings.
What? Let's go.
That's a must-win divisional round.
That was a pity.
It wasn't.
You didn't even let a brother
You
finish.
said Nick Wright. He got made fun
you
of for
wouldn't
saying
even
Dennis
listen
Allen.
to me.
Nobody at the airport's like Nick Wright. Sorry. Enjoy your flight,
man.
everybody. That's
The sound's not even on at the airport.
That's a good point.
Right.
Can you put enjoy your flight on the bar?
Oh my
Whatever.
God.
We're running out of time. I'm sorry, bro.
Nearly home. Isn't home where we all want to be? Reba here for Realtor.com, the pro's #1 most trusted app. Finding a home is like dating. You're not just looking for a place to live, you're searching for the one. That's where Realtor.com comes in. Like any good matchmaker, they know exactly where to look. With over 500,000 new real listings straight from the pros every month, you could find your perfect match today. Ranch style with a pool, barn dominium with an in-law suite? Realtor.com's got 'em. Modern craftsman with a big yard and a treehouse out back? Realtor.com will have you saying, yep, that's the one. No more swiping. It's time to start finding. Download the Realtor.com app today, cause you're nearly home. Make it real with Realtor.com.
Pro's #1 most trusted app based on August 2024 proprietary survey. Over 500,000 new listings every month based on average new for sale and rental listings. February 2024 through January 2025.
Head to Milwaukee, where the Bucks were booed at halftime after falling behind by 31 to the Wolves without Rudy or Ant. After the break, Giannis gets an and one to fall, and then is on the ground and starts booing his own fans. Here he is after the game.
When I get booed, I boo back. I've been doing all season. You guys haven't been with me on the road. Whenever I get booed, I boo back.
No, but this is home. I mean, do you have
it
a
doesn't
message?
matter. I don't. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. I play basketball for my teammates. I play basketball for myself and my family. When people don't believe in me, I don't tend to be with them. I tend to be against them.
Yikes. Now, this is 6 days after he said he would never ask for a trade.
Yeah.
This seems like a pivot.
I think the root of this is that Giannis understandably feels like, I'm doing y'all a favor. Now, you can disagree with that, but I'm being loyal to you fans here in Milwaukee. I'm doing you a favor, and this is how you treat. I think that's really how he feels. I'm speculating, but that's my take on the matter. And look, at the end, and I think because he does it, and he said it, he does that on the road when he gets booed. He'll boo back at the fans after a big play. This is the first time he did it at home. Nick, this might be good if it sparks Giannis to go ahead and say, you know what, they're booing me. I asked for a trade. You hate that it happens this way if it does because, and I think he still will, no matter how it ends, have a statue out in front of that building. But if this is what it's going to take to drive him out of there, then fine. And it'll be good for Milwaukee too. They're a terrible team. They don't have a chance. So go ahead and ask for the trade and get somewhere where you can compete for championships.
They weren't booing Giannis. They're booing the team.
Right.
Which is different. Maybe people might look at that as a distinction without a difference because he's on the team. But I think if I viewed them booing as disgust with the fact that a team with Giannis can be this bad.
Down
29 at halftime. And I don't know. Giannis has been in the public eye for, at this point, almost 15 years. He is the only thing close to a misstep was when he assaulted the ladder. And he
wanted to play more basketball.
And so I am as pro Giannis as anyone can be. I think this was a mistake, and I thought his explanation was poor. Again, I understand it's different markets and different sports. The Eagles are the defending Super Bowl champions. Their fans have been booing them all year.
Oh, yeah.
If Jalen Hurts turned to the crowd and booed them, so I think this was I think it also shows that Giannis is nearing, I don't want to say a breaking point, that sounds more drastic, but he's frustrated.
I think that's
as
fair.
can be. And so I generally agree with you, Brew, that what would be best for both parties would be mutual parting of ways. The problem is I think it's going to be hard to find a team that can give up fair value for Giannis that team is still a contender.
Houston I think it should be Houston. San Antonio appears they should stand pat. Knicks, I don't know if they can get the draft picks with the third or fourth team in the deal. Houston's fallen to the 6th seed. Now, I know it's still jumbled, but they're the 6th seed. Mm-hmm. Shingun and a Reed Shepard, whatever else to make it work financially. But I think for Milwaukee, that's not bad. And Giannis plays like Shingun.
You were that's right.
A better version, but handles the ball.
Right. And all that. You were talking about a breaking point. This is the other video that was going miniature viral. A lot of people are speculating that Giannis is crying here. We don't know that. He might just be wiping sweat from his eyes. But
oh, I didn't see this.
Yeah, kicking around. One of the popular Twitter Bucks fans blog said, "We don't deserve this man. He should leave for his own good."
Well, look, he's clearly very loyal, and it may have really hurt him more than we think, Nick, if to be booed by those fans. Because again, I do feel like he's saying, look, I'm staying here for, yes, the franchise, my teammates, whatever, the fans. I don't want to let them down, and to be booed, I mean, if that's what it looks like, then
I don't know. I would hope Giannis knows they are not booing Giannis Antetokounmpo. They're booing the 2026 Milwaukee Bucks. That you are the only. It is just a dog of a movie that has, a great DiCaprio performance in it, but that it's wasted in. And so, if Giannis, I legitimately, I try to be prepared every day. I hadn't seen that video at all. I didn't know,
he might just be wiping sweat.
Right, but no, I would have assumed he was wiping sweat, but the look on his face when he takes the towel away is something.
Whether he was tearing or not, he clearly was despondent.
And so, this is just a crummy situation.
You all want him out of there.
I think it's time to go. It's
I
starting
just
to get
want
ugly.
him to play big games again.
Yeah,
he wants to
he's not going to happen there.
Bucks in San Antonio tomorrow night. All right, coming up after the break, divisional round tiers next. Live from New York, the show just made an excellent joke about The outdated printers at dentist's office.
Yeah, the dot matrix, the little things on the side. I tear it off.
that.
That's what we control our teleprompter with. One of those.
That's a savvy observation.
Thank you. Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
It is pretty outdated.
But luckily now in the control room, Tatiana's hand is on the control.
It looks like something from the 60s.
Yeah,
It's odd. Second hour of First Things First. Today, Josh Allen loses another wide receiver. Does he have enough support to beat the Broncos? Meanwhile, where do the Steelers go from here? And are we sure this is a great job? But right now, let me get you caught up to speed on what's been happening last night. While eating flaming hot Cheetos as a substitute for a pack of cigarettes. An elite committee of experts, analysts, and you ate a family-sized bag of Sour Patch Kids as well?
Wow, is that
Fought and toiled, it's actually healthy. Fought and toiled and burned the midnight oil to deliver the best segment in all of sports. It's an honor and it's a privilege. It's time for divisional round tears.
Indeed it is.
He's trying his best, guys.
I'm doing great. 14 days.
That's great, man.
No black and milds, no cigarettes,
Whatever
no
it
vape,
takes, man.
no nothing.
Proud.
But today I
fast
started
food.
like salivate back of my they know. And I was like, I gotta get something. I found some flaming hot Cheetos. And I'm like, now I'm just gonna I'm gonna die a different way. But whatever. Not gonna be smoking.
Greg hasn't had butter in 5 years.
Time for the tears, fresh eliminations. We know who you are. Wow.
Yikes.
Eagles, again, defending a title's not for everybody. Jags, Packers, Chargers, Steelers, and Panthers. 8 teams left. And I would argue that of the 9 best teams in the NFL this season, 8 of them are represented in the final 8. The Jags are the only team that was, a clear-cut top 9 team that didn't make the final, the divisional round. Bottom of the tiers. Coaching masterclass, the San Francisco 49ers. I think this is as impressive of a coaching job as I've seen in a single season in my life covering the NFL. Wow. The keeping everyone together when less than a month into the year, you have suffered devastating injuries to your best players and your quarterback. To not have guys let go of the rope and just be like, you know what, this ain't our season. To lose week 18 for the number 1 overall seed and go from we're going to get a week off, we're going to be at home next to that power plant hanging out, and instead we got to go on the road to the defending Super Bowl champs in the cold and finding a way. I just think Shanahan and Saleh and John Lynch, everybody involved, the players as well obviously, but they all deserve a ton of credit. It's a pretty basic tier name, but it describes their style of play. Repeatedly punching you in the face.
Yeah, that's fair.
The Houston Texans. I really appreciate the fact that they don't have a fancy defensive scheme. They don't try to trick you. Mm-hmm. They don't like disguise a bunch of coverages. They're like, hey, what if this is our philosophy? 4 defensive linemen that can get home. The best secondary in football as far as coverage goes, and oh yeah, by the way, the best tackling secondary as well, and some mean-ass linebackers. What if that's our plan? What if we don't care how many times CJ Stroud fumbles the ball because we're going to score on defense? A head coach who seems to get more enjoyment out of a 3-and-out caused by a sack than an offensive touchdown. They are just brutal. And I think the offense might, if the offense doesn't get better, they have a ceiling, but they are unbelievable to watch. Oz the Mentalist.
Oh, wow.
Here's what I mean. You see it happen again and again and again, and eventually you're like, I don't know, maybe it's real.
Great take.
Added bonus. What do Oz the Mentalist and the Chicago Bears have in common? Kevin Wildes can't stand either one of them, but is going to pretend, I don't have a problem with Oz the Mentalist or shows that platform him, and I don't have a problem with the Bears. As he writes, Kevin Wildes deep down and maybe publicly, just not on the air, can't stand the Bears, Ben Johnson and Caleb, or Oz the Mentalist. Next. One win valid.
Enough with the ATM code, okay?
The ATM code. He can't stand it. One win validates everything. You win this game, Denver, most notably Sean Payton, you're hosting the AFC Championship game. You were the 1 seed, went to the AFC title game, you beat Josh Allen, you beat the Bills. Even if you don't get to, much less win the Super Bowl, nobody's going to say, we knew you guys were frauds. Like, win one playoff game. That's what a bye means. That's what being the number 1 seed is. The flip side is lose this week, and those folks, of which I am one of them, who all year long did not believe in you, who believe your comeuppance is en route next season, who think Sean Payton, nobody, and this is a lot coming from me, nobody likes the sound of their own voice as much as Sean Payton likes his, gonna feel a little different if you lose your first playoff game. Got the jitters out of the way, Patriots. And that makes them very scary. I don't think Drake May is going to play a worse half these playoffs the rest of the way than he played in the first half, against the Chargers. I also, when you watch the NC-17 film known as the All-22 for Justin Herbert, what you realize is your guy's secondary had some jitters as well early in that game. A lot of guys running wide open. Now, Herbert didn't see him, and the Chargers offense couldn't capitalize on May's mistakes. If you guys, offensively and defensively, the rest of the playoffs are the team you were in that second half, you can win the Super Bowl. Wow. It only gets harder. Josh Allen and the Bills. That was a great win going to Jacksonville and beating that red-hot Jags team. Now you go to Mile High and have to take on a rested Denver Broncos team. And then after that, you got to either go to New England or to Houston, 2 teams that beat you this year. It only gets harder every step of the way, but that's how it's supposed to be if you're trying to have a legendary run as Josh Allen is to the Super Bowl. This one makes me sad a little because I like Caleb, happy because everybody knows I'm a Rams guy. MVP masterclass on deck.
Oh, wow.
I think we could have a 5-touchdown, 325-yard, 40-point Rams performance this weekend. I do not think that Bears defense is going to be able to even slightly slow down that Rams passing attack and what Sean McVay is going to dial up as far as to exploit some of the weak spots in that Bears secondary. And I don't think the Bears pass rush is going to be able to impact Stafford the way they need to. I think he's going to have a gaudy stat line, and it is going to take a superhuman performance from Caleb and the Bears offense to even keep it close. And atop the tiers, Greg Jennings, not midnight yet. Listen, I don't know if he's going to go pumpkin, but I do know that it ain't midnight yet, and as long as it's not, the Seahawks are the best team. As long as they can just get steady play from Sam Darnold, much less great play, steady play, they are the best overall team. They are rested. They are at home. They have the most advantageous matchup of any of these round 2 games. They're atop the tiers once again, Greg.
That's a great tiers.
Yeah, I love the tier, the titles. Look, I'm going to focus on the Rams, and I'm actually going to move them down because although I'm with you on the masterclass, and it can definitely very well be a masterclass for that offense and putting up 40 points, that defense is going to hope that they do that. Because I don't think we really have dialed in on what we've been seeing from this Rams defense. But they are, to your point, Wilds, gettable. First, from week 1 to week 12, and we have the numbers to support it, like they were lights out. Only giving up 16 points a game, 310 yards basically, yards per game. Opponents passed a touchdown intercept, 13 and 10. Like they were lights out. Passer rating under 80. And then the rest of the season unfolded. The last 7 games of the season, this is including Carolina, the wild card performance, giving up almost 30 points a game. 350-plus yards a game. And look at the opponent pass, touchdown, and interception. They're no longer creating turnovers, but they're giving up points. And then the passer rating has shot up. Like, this defense has allowed so many explosive plays, not only in the passing game, but also in the running game. If the Bears are able to have that Oz the mentalist show up and put on the magic show and be what they've been, they're going to put points on the board against this defense because for whatever reason, this is who they've been since week 12. And it hasn't been against juggernaut offenses and quarterbacks. But that has to not be the case. If you're the Rams and you're that offense and you're Matthew Stafford and you've been executing, Puka Nacua been playing lights out, Sean McVay been dialing up all kind of plays, you got to get better production out of your defense if you're going to make this run.
It's good.
Listen, I think that what gives me a little hope for the Rams in that regard is it's not a small sample of the season when the defense was out of this world.
Correct.
And it's not like,
they
lost Micah Parsons, and so they're not the same. But it has been, we're going on now 2 months of bad play from that side of the ball. I also, though, wonder how much of a home field advantage the Bears are going to have this game. That crowd was so loud and so good, and that game was such, as Danny talked about, like a religious experience.
Letdown crowd?
I think the Bears fans felt like we have to win this game. We're playing the Packers. We won the division.
I love this game.
And I just don't know. It feels a little house money at this point in the season, more so than you normally would have for a 2 seed in round 2.
I like that take.
I think, Nick, you share my skepticism, which is why I'm surprised they're atop the tiers. I got to move the Seahawks down just because of the quarterback. I mean, that's it. The defense we know is great. The head coach is great. The receivers are great. The running game, the offensive coordinator, everything. I'm moving them down. Sam Darnold, in his last 9 games, now they're 8-1.
I know.
But in his last 9 games, 9 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Yeah. And obviously those all weren't against playoff teams, let alone, the final 8. So with his question marks, I'm going to move them down. And look, I'm going to put the Bills on top. We all know this is Super Bowl win or bust. They're the only team of the 8 left where it is absolutely, we got to win a Super Bowl. I don't even think it's we got to get to the Super Bowl. Because they've gotten there so in the past and been so disappointed, not been able to win it. They have to win it. And I think that little extra, obviously all the teams want to win it. You got the best quarterback left, I think, both conferences. You got the best quarterback, the best player. You have a good squad. Your defense in some ways can be pretty good. Offensive line is great. And even without the receiver they just lost, they still got Brandon Cooks has actually played really well lately. And Khalil Shakir has, and maybe Keon Coleman will step up, and they got the tight end.
They literally have 3 wide receivers on the roster.
Well,
Brandon Cooks is moderately new. They've benched Keon Coleman multiple times, and Khalil Shakir.
Well, Shakir has been playing, was really good last week, and Cooks has made some great catches.
I know, but just having going
they're going to bring more.
They're gonna bring up
Cole Hardman.
I don't know.
They start talking about signing OBJ.
Yeah, I mean, he's nothing to sneeze at.
We're talking about an offense that heavily relies on their tight ends as well.
Right, and the run game. They got a great running back, and the quarterback.
But in reality, this is
I don't think they're the best, but they're like,
you're saying it's wide open. They have the most experience, and they have the best player.
Yes.
That's your so I would, if we got a Seahawks-Bills Super Bowl, if we got Bills-Rams, I would be picking the Rams. But if we got Bills-Seahawks, even though I have the Seahawks there, I don't know that I would be able to I feel like I put my head down on the pillow the night before the game and be like, I'm really going to bet on Sam Darnold over Josh Allen. It's going to be hard. But I do think the Seahawks have been the best team. I understand what you're saying. I think they've been the best team.
You know what they call me? The mayor. They call me Puxatawny Philip football. Also the mayor of fair. It's because I give you straightforward analysis, not colored by my own fan allegiances. About Buffalo. The Buffalo Bills better win their game and then put on a bunch of Patriot stuff, because I don't think they have any chance at beating the Texans.
They definitely don't want to go play there.
I don't. If they go in, they already beat the Patriots at home. They're like,
I don't think they have any chance of beating the Texans.
I don't. That game was such a one-sided destruction where Josh Allen had more weapons, was healthier. They didn't, like you said,
and
they didn't.
Wasn't that Davis Mills?
That was Davis Mills.
Quarterbacking for the Texans.
When they played the regular season. The last 2 times they played them.
Were Davis Mills?
No. The last
routes.
one was Davis Mills, but you're talking about, I think, last year.
No, I'm talking about this. I'm talking about this. The last time we saw them play in Houston, where Josh Allen was being crushed by this Texans.
He was.
I've got the Texans moving. If you put them Bills number 1, I'll put the Texans wherever you got the Bills. The Texans are ahead of the Bills. They are a Super Bowl champion defense. We could pull 1,000 stats. Josh is like, remember the 2015 Broncos? They're better than the 2015 no-fly zone Broncos. Both games, and as a nice little bonus, both of these Super Bowls in Santa Clara. Also, and this is a little bit of a spin on one of Danny's stats, 12-0, if you've won 12 games or more, when you score 20 or more, you win the Super Bowl. So to me, it's a little bit on CJ, just has to play adequate, but I'm very nervous as a Patriots fan on going up against this defense. We've got some good Josh McDaniels stats coming up later this week, but this defense is just I close my eyes and I can see that it passes the confetti test. I've seen it. I saw the Eagles defense get to Mahomes without blitzing and ruin the game. And Mahomes was the best player in the world. It's like, doesn't really matter if we can get to you.
So I understand that, but and I've said this before, but I'll say it again real quick. The problem with that style of play, where the offense gives you so little and the defense is, just so dominant, is a game like Texans-Bills can happen, where the Bills offense is just rattled. Josh plays poorly. The Texans defense plays damn near perfect.
Sure.
And with 45 seconds left, the Buffalo Bills have the ball 18 yards from the end zone, down 4 points.
But that was Davis. That was CJ.
Again, this year, there's not been a big difference in the Texans offense with Davis Mills or with CJ Stroud.
Yeah. They were up 7-6 on the Steelers going into the fourth quarter.
And that's I think the Steelers game is a good example. Now, that game is 10-6, 7-6 going into the fourth, 10-6 Steelers ball, and then the Texans get 2 defensive scores, gets away. It's very difficult to create separation from a team if you're an A+ defense and C- offense. And if you're saying we get Texans-Bills, which, by the way, would mean they beat the Pats, which I don't think you did, but I understand what you're saying.
Well, I'm very nervous.
If it's a 1-score game in the fourth quarter and Josh Allen can be in the same situation as in the regular season, I'd be like, I gotta take my chances.
And let's not forget, Nico Collins is in concussion protocol.
Right.
I expect him to play.
Oh, you do?
I do not.
Really?
I do expect him to play.
We've rarely seen a guy.
We have, but I expect him to play. But if he doesn't, Christian Kirk was great.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's enough.
I agree, and I just want to say something real quick about that, because you mentioned it. To my eye, watching Monday Night Football, it looked to me like Nico Collins got a concussion on the 3rd play of the game. And he hit his head, they checked him out, and then somehow he went back in. And then late in the game, he had a pretty regular fall, and he had to be carted off, and he didn't know where he was. We've got to do a better job of, if it looks like I understand it's the playoff game, and I get that, but the reaction he had to what I perceived to be the second head injury, looked so catastrophic. It really made me feel like that on the first drive of the game he suffered a concussion and he kept playing, and that was brutal.
The flip side of it, Christian Gonzalez was the other side.
Yeah.
He says he's okay, and they wouldn't let him back in the game. So I think he's going to be clear, but I don't know if Nico's going to be.
Yeah, we'll see. That second one, though, he hit his head pretty hard.
Yeah.
But
so that was a clear cut, but I'm with you.
Felt like he had gotten
hurt
early.
I was a little skeptical, too.
The Steelers looking for a new coach. Next. Saturday on Fox, 49ers versus the Seahawks. This one's at 7:30 on Saturday, 4:30 Pacific, only on Fox. Welcome back to First Things First. Steelers looking for a new head coach after Tomlin leaves after 19 years. There's 9 current job openings. We ranked them all. Nick, you had the Steelers as the second best opening and the Browns as the worst. Greg, how do you view the Steelers job? Do you think it's a great job?
I don't know if it's a great job in terms of what you're going to have from a roster standpoint because of the fact that you won't have a quarterback right away. If we're looking at it from the lens of having an opportunity to create and establish what you want to do, your plan of attack, your vision, and having a runway to execute that vision, great job. I just believe the Steelers are in lockstep with a head coach who they believe in, who they feel like, okay, if we're going to invest in you, we're going to give you the time and the opportunity to create this plan and execute this plan. Mm-hmm. And we don't see that across the NFL any longer. You have a short leash, and it's like if you don't get it done because you typically do have the quarterback, when you go to a place like the Ravens, then it's like, because you had Lamar, I don't know if we can give you that much time. We already expect to win. So with that being the case, the Steelers have a lot of draft capital. You've mentioned this several times on the show with the personnel that they have on their current roster, with some of those older guys and the cap hits that they're going to be taking, they could retool some of that, and so you could get even more. I just think because the culture and the organization is run in such a great manner, this is a fantastic opportunity for most coaches.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, that's what you're looking for is stability. Can I be there the next 10, 15 years? And I even think, Greg, the fans, after so long a period of we're good.
This is correct.
We make the playoffs. We win 10 games. They've had that now for 10 years, whatever it is. They are ready. They will accept certainly one season, I believe, of we're 5-12. Maybe 2 seasons if they see things moving in the right direction. You're getting some good young players. So I think that helps the coach as well. And as long as I think they'll hire a solid guy. And if you're solid, and even if the record's poor, but you can see, you know what you're doing offensively, you know what you're doing defensively, you have control of the locker room and the players play for you, I think they'll give you a long leash, and that's what you want.
All right. I know you did your list already, so I'm going to flip the question for you. I know whoever this is going to have the job for however many years, but even on your list, they're the second best job. Yeah. So if I was the best candidate, you're the silver medalist.
Yeah.
Does any part of you feel like this is not the strongest coaching class? That there wasn't like Ben Johnson was like the belle of the ball, and next thing you know, the Bears are riding in the playoffs. Like, do you feel like the candidates that are out there are up to having the job for 15
Well, listen,
plus years?
Mike Tomlin wouldn't have been. Mike Tomlin was a very lightly known assistant. He'd only been a coordinator for 1 year.
1 year, yeah.
An assistant in Minnesota.
Harbaugh,
Harbaugh was a special teams coordinator. Sean McVay spouted an entire tree. That was a shocking hire when it happened because he was, 32 years old.
I think he was viewed as a savant type guy.
He was so young.
But he wasn't Ben Johnson. Mm-hmm. It wasn't somebody that had been in the news year after year. I think Liam Cohen has done a great job. Liam Cohen was like a late stage in the coaching search hire, and he wasn't viewed as throughout the year like, oh, he's a surefire. So I don't know that there certainly isn't a, like you said Ben Johnson, what there definitely is not right now is a Jim Harbaugh, Sean Payton, except for the two guys who just got let go or left the Ravens and the Steelers.
Super Bowl.
The thing about McCarthy is, and I know his name keeps getting brought up, it's very rare for coaches to get 3 shots. It's a 2-shot
Well, he
thing
did
typically.
when you say shot, I mean, he produced in both places.
No, I know.
So it's not like he failed. You know what I mean?
No, but it's just rare for coaches to have 3 different head coaching tenures for 3 different teams. I think that for the Steelers, what is Brew's point is such an important one as far as how good of a job is it. What do the fans expect? And how much pressure will fans put on ownership if things aren't going well? These fans in Pittsburgh, now maybe they'll rue the day, but yesterday was a celebratory day in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe to a degree that was disrespectful to Tomlin, but it's fine. Fans call and talk radio, do whatever they want. Mm-hmm. You know, friend of this show, Andrew Filipponi, had stirred him up for 5 years that Tomlin needed to go, and they treated yesterday like it was a big, relief. Because I think that if you were to poll Steeler fans, the 2026 Pittsburgh Steelers, would you rather be 9-8 or 3-14? I think 3-14 runs away with it. Obviously, what they'd want is 14-3 and try to win a Super Bowl.
Right.
But I think that they are sick of being stuck in the middle, and they do have an appetite of bottom out short term to build it back up into excellence. The question will be, do you have a coach that once you have a high ceiling can bring with him a high floor? Like, assuming you get the quarterback that allows you to have a high ceiling, that doesn't mean you're going to have a high floor. Mm-hmm. Like they don't have that in Cincinnati. They have the quarterback. They don't have a high floor there. And so that it's not as easy.
Greg, can I pitch you on something? We don't know who the person is going to be, and it seems like they have to be a great hire if they're going to have this stability. We've also talked about some of the challenges that college coaches would face making the leap to the NFL. Marcus Freeman, Cignetti's older, obviously, but seems to be the best coach in college football, arguably. Do you think that having a long runway with the Steelers would entice Marcus Freeman or Cignetti to make the jump?
Yeah, I think it would entice any coach because, again, this is not the norm. When you sign up, everybody has hopes of having a long tenure with whatever team that they sign the contract with. But this is almost, and I don't want to make it seem like it's a guaranteed thing, because of course it's not, but more so than anywhere else, this is almost a guarantee. They're going to allow you a runway. So I don't know, even if Marcus Freeman, the Steelers have been known, because of what you mentioned with Mike Tomlin being a one-year guy, not being in-house, not being the guy that they, even Willie Colon spoke to it yesterday, that they felt, even in the locker room, was a Steeler guy. He was just a guy, young. I think they're going to go to a young guy that has a mind, a vision, a way of doing things that they can get behind and allow him to go.
I'm going to throw a name out there that wasn't mentioned yesterday, and I'm going to mispronounce his last name. But the kid, he's very young in Los Angeles, Nathan Scheelhaase. It's Scheel and then Hasse. I don't know how to pronounce it. I apologize. It just reminds me of an offensive Tomlin. Kind of like the first year with a big job, in his early 30s, considered incredibly sharp. And I do think while the Steelers have always been, I say always, it's 3 hires, but they've had 3 defensive guys, I wonder if they feel like we like the model of like young, can grow, all of it. But if our big problem at this point has been we need to find and develop a quarterback, having an offensive mind that can grow with the quarterback is a good idea. So Flores is interesting. He's the defensive side of the ball. Jesse Minter with the Chargers is young and interesting. He's defensive side of the ball. So I wonder if that's a name to look at with the Steelers.
Okay. Speaking of college football, Dante Moore staying at Oregon. Had a rough game against Indiana, but was projected to be the number 2 pick. The Jets are in need of a quarterback, and there's some discussion that perhaps he's purposely avoiding the Jets. Nick, do you think the Jets having a high pick affected Dante's decision, or should it have?
Here's what I think. That what's a good example of a franchise everyone respects that just doesn't have a quarterback? So I should have thought of this earlier.
The Steelers again?
Pittsburgh.
Sure, great. Yeah, I didn't want to use them as example. If Pittsburgh had the number 2 pick, or
the Giants.
Giants, maybe. It feels a little
and
more stability.
Talent, yeah.
Right. If a team such as that had the number 2 pick, I think he'd be in the draft. And I also want to make this clear. I don't think it's a mistake for him to be like, I'll go spend another year at Oregon, make $4 or $5 million bucks,
right,
and avoid a franchise that is probably the number 31 or number 32 draft pick in the NFL for quarterback development. Like, I don't blame him for that. Like, I don't view him as such a can't miss. Like, wherever I go, absolutely. I will make it work. I think it's probably needs right fit, right system, all of it. And I don't blame him for not wanting to go to the New York Jets, if that's the case.
Yeah, look, I have no idea if that is the case with the Jets. But when Joe Burrow was coming out and everybody was saying, man, avoid the Bengals, don't go to the Bengals, I was saying, if you're that guy, go somewhere and make it happen, which he obviously did. He also was from Ohio, not far from Cincinnati. I can't blame, if that is what Dante Moore is thinking, we have so much evidence now. Robert Saleh is one of the top coaching names on the market, even though he lost tremendously with the Jets. Everybody's saying it was them, not him. All right? Sam Darnold, you and others have him as the best. They're the best team in the league. If Sam Darnold somehow wins this Super Bowl, that is a terrible look for the Jets because they got what we're talking about with Pittsburgh. Bottom out, get a top pick, get your quarterback. They if Darnold goes on to do that, they had him and didn't know what to do with him. You know? And Garrett Wilson, I mean, is great, but he's kind of languishing in almost anonymity because the organization's so bad. And Rodgers, the numbers are similar. You could say Rodgers, though. It ended really badly for him there. And then he goes to the Steelers, and they at least make the playoffs, and he plays fairly well. So I can't blame the kid if that is the reason.
And we're talking about a young man that it's him. There is no quarterback competition in this year's draft.
Right, because we know Mendoza's won.
Yeah, it's him. So to go back to school knowing, okay, I got to go through an entire season, not get injured, to kind of guarantee that, and play well, to kind of guarantee that I can still be in this position at the end of another complete season, if you're the Jets, you've got to change something. Because if players are dodging you, and I'll add this, NIL has changed everything too. Yes. Because the fact that he's gonna make money, it's changed everything as well. I will say this, having watched him this year in the Big Ten, and he's played Indiana twice, not played a bunch of stiff competition, and their personnel offensively has typically been a little bit better than everybody that they've played. He definitely does need to sharpen up his arsenal and his toolkit. So it can benefit him as well, but the Jets definitely has a role in this.
Because usually if you're that high, number two,
gone.
Right? What am I waiting for?
I also think Oregon has taken a step every year under Dan Lanning. You know, like that, and each year their final loss is a brutal one, like they get just clocked, but it's a step.
But it's a champs.
Right. It's a step closer. This now, in my opinion, should make Oregon the favorites for next season.
Wow.
Indiana's going to lose their quarterback. I understand that Arch in Texas, people are going to really believe in, and Arch should be better next year. But Oregon, getting him back with that team, and it should feel like the progression for Dan Lanning and the Ducks is next year we play for the – I guess the progression would be we get to the national title game, we get blown out in that one. And then the year after is when we win it. But we're one step closer is what they should do.
More Dylan Raiola news in the break. It's going to be a podcast
Did
exclusive.
he transfer somewhere else?
Not yet. I'm waiting for it, though.
Yeah.
Fox College Hoops Friday.
I'm just messing.
Big 12 battle. Baylor taking on Kansas. All tips off Friday night, 8 Eastern on Fox. Welcome back to the show. San Francisco in Seattle, Saturday night. This one is on Fox as well. Sam Darnold is a 7.5-point favorite against Brock and friends. Seattle is
down to 7,
hot.
KW.
Oh, down to 7. We're moving lines. Seattle's hot, but as you know, this side of the desk, you know what we believe in? Due dates. Seahawks may be due for a loss.
We do.
If you're on a 7-game win streak and you had a bye in the last 20 years,
this one,
and if your name is not Tom Brady,
right,
you lost. Oh my goodness. So who do you trust more? Purdy?
Really? Wait, 7-game win streak.
Yep.
Divisional round
After having a bye.
Really?
Evidently.
Rest versus Russ, and you're due for a loss. It's a due date one.
So that is
that's interesting.
So that's Lamar's Ravens. That's Tannehill's Titans. I'll think of a couple more that they were.
Oh no, Josh is giving you the number.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Okay.
Here we go.
But go ahead. Doesn't matter. It's
who do you trust more? It does matter.
This Saturday, I trust Darnold more.
Wow.
Really?
Just because of who they're against.
Oh,
Purdy's.
fair.
Listen, as I said Monday,
You like it.
I am open.
Just say it.
That's all you can ask for.
About Brock Purdy. I'm open to the possibility that maybe there's a chance that one day I'll change my opinion. I'm open to that. And I gave him credit for what I thought was a gutsy performance this weekend. But against this defense, with no George Kittle, the rest disadvantage, the way they're going to be flying around, that crowd noise, all of it. And Darnold, I think Darnold has shown us that if the picture's clear to me, I can be accurate, I can
that's
deliver.
The problem.
And no, but I'm saying I think against the Niners defense it's going to be pretty clear. So this Saturday, I trust Sam Darnold more, as weird as that is, because in general, I don't trust Sam Darnold.
Look, obviously you're right in that Darnold's facing a much easier defense. No question about it. Purdy's numbers in the 2 games against the Seahawks this year, he's completed 73% of his passes, but 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. I think, I trust him more. I get it. I'm not necessarily picking the Niners. We'll do our picks later in the week, but I trust him more. I think he's going to learn from those 2 games, Greg. He threw the interception. He obviously had a game-winning touchdown in the first game of the season against Seattle. But I think he's going to learn from that. In the playoffs, he's 5-2. Hasn't had a bad game. He hasn't been great in every game. But his overall playoff passer rating in 7 games is 93.8, which is pretty high. Mm-hmm. He hasn't ever been under 80. We know the moment won't be too big for him. We're not sure about Darnold in the moment. So I'm going to trust Brady more, or Purdy more, but I get what you're saying, totally.
Yeah, it's tougher than what people may think, because Purdy obviously going against that defense without George Kittle, no true number 1 weapon. I still trust Purdy.
Wow.
Man. I still trust Purdy because if he can go into Philadelphia against that defense and have those mistakes and still bounce back and do enough. And I know they had a couple other plays dialed up that worked out in their favor, but he still had to perform at a level of where we need you to be great. We need you to execute. And he did that against a really good defense that we all would say is one of the better defense. They had been playing like it. Now you're playing against a team that you've performed against both matchups, but because of the familiarity, I believe that Robert Saleh, knowing they can't get pressure, you don't even sometimes have to get pressure on guys who mentally checks out.
Man.
And if you can just almost make him feel like there's pressure and murky up the picture for Sam Darnold, it's almost a win.
I do that in basketball. Hey!
All the
I'm not gonna. If I'm behind a guy, you're gonna like, hey.
The tough part.
They think I'm right there. I'm actually no pressure.
The tough part is if you give a player like Sam Darnold confidence and you don't get to him, you show that you can't get to him.
Well, they're not gonna get to him very much.
Well, that's what they don't do. They're last in the league.
So this is where.
Well, he only scored 13 points?
Yeah, it was 13 to 3, and the other one was
a lot of
18,
cover 1,
7,
cover 0.
16.
We gotta go get him. This is where I think Darnold in that game against the Rams that they won 38-37, maybe that was better for their chances to win the Super Bowl than because he played really poorly through the first 3 quarters and then good at the end. Maybe that's better for their chance to win the Super Bowl than if he just had a start to finish really good game.
Definitely.
I do think there's an element of because of that game, if he has an early interception, it won't necessarily ruin him. I think that he's like, hey, you know what I mean? I've rallied in a big spot before after a really shaky start. That maybe because otherwise you would be really concerned if he makes a mistake early that it's definitely going to snowball. If he makes a mistake early, it's probably going to snowball, but it's not definite. I just don't know if the Niners can force a mistake.
Welcome to First Things First Overtime, live from New York City. Today, is it on the board that Caleb Williams outplays MVP runner-up Matthew Stafford?
He's not going to be the runner-up.
We never know.
He's just.
You know otherwise?
We totally skipped the story that he was first-team All-Pro. Somehow
Who was first-team All-Pro last year?
Think,
that's the first time.
Exactly.
That's the first time that's happened in like 20 years.
I don't, but some people do.
Meanwhile, a special edition of Cool Stats that makes a GOAT case for Josh Allen.
Wait, what?
GOAT case, more like briefcase. And finally, Hobbs is like, yes, nailed it. And finally, do the 49ers have the Seahawks on Upset Alert, a special edition of Upset Alert? Wow. Coming, is that, yeah?
Oh, we'll ask the question.
Is that a special edition of Upset Alert?
I thought that was trademarked for the regulation.
I did too, but I thought I could get rid of the briefcase.
This guy.
Alongside Chris Broussard, I'm Kevin Wilds. Alongside Nick Wright and Danny Parkins from Chicago.
This guy is such a baby. Why? You are such a baby.
Why?
Because
you were yelling at Brew because he didn't have the Ravens schedule.
No, but I was wrong. By the way, I was going to apologize to Brew off the air and on the air. I yelled at him, and I was the one who was wrong. But Brew, because he's not a baby, got over it in 8 seconds. You stew all day if you don't get your way and then bring it up repeatedly. You're a baby.
I only brought it up twice. in 140. Right now, we're headed to Chicago, where the Rams are favored Sunday night. Matthew Stafford against Caleb. Here's Sean McVay paying some compliments to the Chicago QB.
He's an explosive play waiting to happen. It's why they can get back in games and finish the way that they have. I think there's a belief that they've established. And I think when you have those types of successful outcomes, no different than Matthew the other day, I think he had full expectation to lead us down the field. I feel that when I watch Caleb and I watch that team. There's a belief that they can find ways to finish, and that's why they're in this situation. But he's going to be a nightmare to defend.
All right, Danny, what would a win over Stafford mean for Caleb Williams, your guy?
He is my guy, and I get that it would mean a lot for everyone other than me.
Oh, no.
Well,
what?
I think that everything that you guys are about to say in your answers is inevitable. Like, best quarterback in the NFC going into next year if Stafford, yeah, he will eventually be the best quarterback in the NFC. He is going to win an MVP. He is going to win a Super Bowl. This is a huge game because this magical season can continue, and I do think they legitimately can win the Super Bowl. If you're still playing this round, you can win it. But I just think the rest of the people will start catching up to what I felt last year. I said bust was off the table with him last year. Like, he is excellent, a tier 1 elite talent in the game, and I don't think it really comes down to the result of one game for him.
I agree with you that win or lose, his long-term potential might be the same, but this game has a ton to do with where he is right now, this moment. Like this would
how quickly
and how if Caleb Williams, if they I think the Rams are going to win, not because I think Caleb's going to play poorly, but because I think the Rams might score 42 points in this game.
They easily could.
But if that happens, then it is, even if Caleb plays well, it is very difficult to make a Caleb Williams top 5 in the NFL case at the start of next season.
I don't think that's on the board.
If they win this game, absolutely.
If they win this game, you're saying Caleb.
I'm saying it's that is. I'm saying if they lose, that's not available. If they win, I'm open. Let's see how the rest of the thing goes.
You can say Caleb. It's like, let me hear you.
If the possibility is still there,
right? In the similar way that people might have said that for Jaden after the year they had last year, that going into the divisional round, the upside's the upside. He's going to be a star. All of this, but winning that game in the divisional round against Detroit, right? It was against Detroit. Getting to the conference championship game is what made people feel differently about Jaden.
Yeah.
Put him in that,
he's top 5.
Right, or a trendy MVP pick for next year, those types of things. If Caleb winning this weekend and executing this upset, if Caleb wins, plays great, and they upset the Rams, and Drake May loses and plays poorly and they get upset by the Texans, whether you like it or not, Caleb versus Drake is going into next year a very fair conversation.
Absolutely.
Really?
If Caleb is the reason.
Yes.
Now, Nick said if Caleb plays great. If Caleb just wins and he's
But it's hard to imagine they could win without him playing great in this matchup.
Yeah, true, because it might
be not to be like a Drake apologist, but the Texans defense versus this Rams defense, if one plays slightly better than the other.
If Caleb wins this, plays great, is the reason they beat the Rams in this round. They get to the NFC Championship game. It is on the table.
Yeah, and Drake plays poorly.
I guess I don't need all of these qualifiers. Like, if Caleb plays poorly in this game and they lose, you might not think the conversation is fair, but we have seen guys take the leap. It's either year 2 in the league or year 3 in the league, year 2 in the system. There is going to be a huge conversation going into next year. Caleb's talent, Ben Johnson, and a full offseason to master his offense. Caleb Williams, no matter how he plays in this game, is going to be on a ton of preseason MVP lists for next year. And top 5 lists and all of them.
What Nick brought up was him.
Why would he be? If he doesn't, he can be.
If he loses this game and doesn't play well, you think he's on top 5 list?
I think people will talk about
it would all be just projection.
Yeah,
it would all be but let's see him be more accurate. We're projecting that. Let's see him do it.
I mean, the preseason MVP pick, I agree with. Like C.J. Stroud was last year, a trendy preseason MVP pick. Jordan Love this year, Jaden Daniels this year were trendy picks. Yeah. But people were picking those guys without saying they're already top 5 quarterbacks.
Right.
I don't think if Caleb loses this game, it is fair to say I'll just use the Drake May comp. You lose any ability to make an argument that he right now is ahead of Drake May in the quarterback hierarchy.
Sure, but if you think he is going to win the MVP,
that's what I think. You're talking, Danny, I think you're talking projections. Like, if they lose this game, I'm sorry, and Caleb has been phenomenal down the stretch of games, and I do think he's looking like he's going to be a superstar. But if he plays a similar game and they lose, like he's bad the first 2.5 quarters, 3 quarters, whatever it is, and then comes on strong, but say they lose, I'm sorry, I can't put him in the top 5
That's fine.
right now. Like, I want most great quarterbacks can play 4 quarters of good football. That's what I want to see him start doing.
KW, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Because there are the things that you personally, historically have valued about quarterbacks, Caleb Williams this year has checked off nearly all of them. I've never heard you, prior to your guy Drake May being a completion percentage god and Caleb being bad about it, in the whole years we've done the show.
Is he bad, or is he the worst starting quarterback in the league?
Well, hold on. But that is a stat that prior to this year, it never was mentioned ever.
I don't want to be weird, but we never talk about a guy having the worst. We don't talk about the guy who has the worst completion percentage.
That's fine, but and maybe I sidebarred myself. But you have never cared. All you have cared about with quarterbacks is, do they find a way to win?
Correct.
Caleb not only has been finding ways to win, but has been doing it in spectacular fashion that it's undeniably his doing at the end of these games. And for some reason, you seem to, in this specific case, be like, I actually don't like that because you're inaccurate early. When in the past, with quarterbacks, you didn't care if they threw 3 picks and no touchdowns. If they won, it was the only thing that mattered.
I love wins. I don't, but am I supposed to say that Caleb is better than Jordan Love because he was spectacular at the end of that game? And
Matt
LaFleur wasn't able to hold a huge lead, even though Jordan Love threw 4 touchdowns.
What I'm saying is, historically, with any quarterback I've ever heard of with you, if it was like, hey, these 2 guys played 3 times, won 2 of them.
Oh, wow.
Oh
my goodness.
Right. You will make a case for Jalen Hurts over Matt Stafford. You will do that because of quarterback wins.
2 Super Bowls.
But with Caleb, you don't seem to be into it.
I'm not saying he's top 5. And being the worst.
I don't think anybody is saying he's top 5. But if he wins this game, it has to be available to him.
I totally agree. It should be. Top 5 has to be available if you're in the NFC Championship game.
I feel like
what happens if you've gone to 2 Super Bowls and are the reigning Super Bowl MVP, and then we're saddled with a bad offensive coordinator?
Guess what? He came into this year
top 5
available to him. We talked about that after the Super Bowl. Okay. This year
I just feel like we're getting top 5.
Hurt himself.
Anybody that if they win this game, lose the championship game, anybody that puts him in the top 5, which I think Danny might do, it's based on projection, which is fair if you're saying, I predict he will be one of the 5 best quarterbacks next season.
Next year.
But
obviously
to say,
not already
right, that's what I'm saying. If you're saying already, not even just accomplishments, but
who are the top 5?
ability.
If he wins this game and then loses the NFC Championship game, but still plays well, not great.
Just the Jaden story. The exact
So
Jaden
who are your
story.
top 5 next year?
Going into next year, it would be Mahomes, it would be Allen, it would be Stafford, Herbert, and Burrow, and Drake May.
Herbert?
That's
in
now
your
you're
top
sitting.
5?
Now we're at 6 and we haven't mentioned Caleb.
They'd be ahead of those guys would be ahead of Caleb. Yeah, those guys would be ahead of Caleb.
Shout out to Justin Herbert. I like that.
I want somebody
those guys would be
to
ahead
love me like this.
For heading into next year. But again, if you think, I don't know what there is to doubt, because I think the accuracy Caleb. I think the accuracy stuff is very clearly going to get fixed. He has plenty of throws that are right on the money from the pocket on time. You know, like he
from the pocket. His best throws are when he's rolling out and he's under a little duress and he's making something happen.
Yeah, I think he's a rhythm player for his highlight throws.
That's why I think he's great at the end, because he's playing off instinct.
I just think once he gets more comfortable in this new system, it had been 3 systems in 3 years with college last year and now this year with Ben Johnson.
Sure.
I do think that he is going to settle into the fundamentals. He's talented enough to complete 66% of his passes in the NFL.
Yeah, I also, when young people
here we go.
ask me about
this is
broadcasting.
Grandpa.
This will be Brew. I think you'll like
we
this.
should have a segment called Grandpa next.
And they're like, especially if they just started a podcast or something. Yeah. One of my biggest pieces of advice is I'm like, listen to your first 5 episodes and find the one thing you think you do the worst, whether it's say or whatever it is. Don't ignore every other mistake you think you made and fix that.
Right.
Good
and
advice.
once that is fixed and you do a bunch of episodes with where whatever you think your biggest, then move on to the next thing.
That's a good idea.
And then don't tackle everything at once. Figure. To me, Caleb this year, the number one thing he went into going from year 1 to year 2 is, man, I cannot be sacked 70 times. And once he got his arms around that, it was, I got to figure out a way to make sure we're not getting out of the huddle at 8 seconds and having these procedural penalties and pre-snap stuff. And to me, he licked them both.
Yeah.
So I would imagine his number one thing this offseason is going to be, man,
hit the legs.
I got to get better. That stupid video in the preseason actually did matter. The one of him throwing at the net and missing it badly and then being pissed at himself, like that's the number one thing. So I just assume he will get better at that because he got better at the stuff he needed to.
That's fair. It feels like Danny also thinks the Rams are going to win this game. All right, time now for a great edition of Packed Stats. 3 of the coolest stats and one of the coolest presenters in all of television.
Presenters?
Yes.
Is he British?
Yes.
That's what they...
Get ready for some cool stats. Here they come.
Don't worry about the gloves, Nick.
Okay.
Something coming there.
I was going to say, I usually have a job. I hand Danny the gloves.
No,
The gloves, I like the
You
gloves.
got fired. Just wait.
Wow.
You guys know what else is cool?
What else is cool?
He showed me
You've
the
been
hand.
waiting. What else is cool?
What's cool?
Thanks for asking. Superheroes.
I agree with that.
Superheroes are objectively cool, right?
Yeah.
We always talk about Josh Allen. He's got to put on his cape like a superhero.
Gloves are in there.
Basically, just wait. No one's done it more than him except Brady. Would you say that that's a superhero game, the 3 or more touchdowns and the 0 picks, basically the perfect game for the quarterback? He did it last week against Jacksonville. We say he has to just be the one who carries the team. He can pass Patrick Mahomes for second most playoff games in NFL history with 3 or more touchdowns and 0 picks. If Josh Allen is going to be that superhero, tough to see Bo Nix keeping up with him. And by the end of these playoffs, he could be number 1. He could pass Tom Brady for most of these games all
time. You think he's going to run the table on that?
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
I think that's
it's on the
going
board.
to be.
It's on the board.
Drop the banner.
On the board.
Well, I mean, that would get him a banner. If he ran the table, and it would mean they won the Super Bowl.
Well, sure.
KW.
Yeah, you will drop banners for the Super Bowl. I
like the stat.
Me too.
I don't think you do.
No, that stat I like.
No, it was
I
cool.
like 3
It was a cool
touchdowns,
stat.
0 turnovers. I revile your thesis bar.
In terms of playoff performers,
Allen already among playoff GOAT quarterbacks.
There's no way you believe
based on how he individually performs in the playoffs, because I'm a guy who, yes, playoff wins matter, but I don't knock Josh Allen for losing in the 13-second game.
That's the only loss.
Okay, Nick.
That you can say that he had nothing to do with.
I'm not saying that he's been perfect in every playoff game,
But when you say GOAT, that's just a bridge.
I'm saying in terms of how he individually plays in the playoffs.
You need some hardware. Even be in the discussion.
I'm gonna enrage Wilds via Danny. Hey, Danny.
Great.
Who was a better playoff? If their careers ended today, who was the better playoff quarterback performer, Josh Allen or Eli Manning?
Josh Allen?
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, not even close.
You think that?
Of course not.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. That's fine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Listen,
a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio with a passer rating of 87 in the playoffs for Eli Manning. Congratulations.
Here's let me ask you this. What if Josh never won a Super Bowl?
Yeah, it wouldn't matter to Danny. That's the point.
That would not matter.
Winning the games don't actually matter.
He would still be in the GOAT conversation for playoffs.
For how he individually
If he continued to play this well but never won.
Correct.
How he individually performs. Yeah, he is a great playoff performer.
It would never matter. It's like if you were an IndyCar driver, you never won a race.
It's a team game.
But you had the average
Tracy
top
McGrady,
speed,
one of the greatest playoff performers.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
because he was great individually.
The problem. Okay, we have
wasn't
to move
Tracy.
on.
You know what else is cool? Wiles actually will agree with this one.
Good.
Riding shotgun.
I like that one.
Wiles loves riding shotgun. I don't understand it. I like to drive. CJ Stroud, elite shotgun rider. In the Texans' playoff wins, their last 3 seasons, this blew my mind. I knew they were good. I didn't know they were this good. The Texans' defense has allowed 32 points against them. Their defense has scored 32 points.
Wow.
They have 5 touchdowns defensively.
And a safety.
No.
Oh.
A blocked extra point returned for a 2-point
Oh,
conversion.
wow. The other way you can get 2 points.
Exactly. So if I would have included the extra points for the defense actually would have 36, but obviously those 4 extra points go to the special teams.
Obviously.
CJ Stroud, 5 total touchdowns against 4 turnovers in his playoff wins. But I have to say that CJ Stroud is a great playoff quarterback because he gets carried by a defense that is literally playing his opponents to even.
No one says CJ Stroud is a great playoff
You
quarterback.
literally said you'd rather have him start a playoff game over Justin.
Well, yeah, because Justin Herbert's one of the worst playoff quarterbacks ever. If you don't have to be, buddy,
oh my God,
buddy, I'm gonna strangle you.
16 points.
He had the number 1 defense in the league last year against CJ Stroud in the playoffs, and CJ outplayed him.
4 picks.
I mean, can't stop
The defense is playing it to the end.
We got to stop with Herbert.
It's just nobody. Now I get it. You think that anybody that people would rather have than Herbert, that means they think that player is awesome. That's not what it means. It doesn't mean that we think CJ Stroud.
You don't have to be awesome to be better than
You just
Justin
have to
Herbert
literally
in the
be
playoffs.
any quarterback that's
Really?
not
Not in
Andy
the playoffs.
Guys, stay cool.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, we
Texans
like
defense,
the Texans defense.
We like the Texans defense.
Yeah,
you like them?
You're so many.
You nervous about the Texans defense?
Just
Heck
like,
yeah.
Okay.
Just like
Shivering in
so
his
many
boots.
of me and Brew's most vitriolic arguments, if we were to be like, this begat that, it's actually about Jimmy Garoppolo versus Brian Hoyer and CJ Beathard.
CJ Beathard.
So many of Danny's most like, what takes are actually a defense of Justin Herbert. Just a bunch of different proxy wars
Eventually
elsewhere.
that lottery ticket is going to hit. And you're going to be the guy.
Next year.
I'm not so
Next
sure.
year.
Next year.
Caleb,
I'm
all
not so
right.
sure.
You guys know what else is cool? Props.
Props.
That's right.
What is this?
We have
Why do you
so many props.
Why
on
do you
this
have your
show.
mother's dishwasher?
I'm going to tell you why.
Those
Because
are
Wilds
cool.
wanted to get rid of my briefcase for another delivery mechanism. And I did not like that very much. So, Troy, if you don't mind,
This is.
the box!
What is happening? We have overpropped this segment. Troy's got gloves on.
Troy's involved. You know what else is cool, guys?
ice.
You know what else
We
is
have
cool?
dry ice in the budget.
You know what else is cool?
What?
Nicknames. Caleb Williams' nickname is the Iceman. That was supposed to be a little bigger. All right.
The ice has gone down.
Iceman.
This is America. Just trust us. This is dry ice.
It's dry ice. Hold on. Got some warm water here.
You're supposed to pour water. Oh, this is.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
cool, actually. That
Pretty cool.
That is cool.
It is cool.
I'm impressed.
Caleb Williams' nickname, the
like
Iceman.
Are you
For how-
supposed to pour this?
I know I was
Yeah.
going to do it at the end, but
That's cool.
Sweet.
it's really cool.
Wow.
I like that. That's cool.
Who has, take it easy, bro. Who has the most fourth quarter passing yards this season in the NFL?
I don't know. That guy.
I was like,
the Iceman. That's how he's earned his nickname. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, Danny, maybe it's because the Bears are always trailing and they're coming back.
Yeah,
No,
that is what I'm thinking.
that is what you're thinking. Well, who is he in front of? Second and third place, fourth quarter passing yards this year. I don't know, 2 guys who are pretty good, Josh Allen and Matt Stafford. So while I wanted to give Caleb Williams the nickname The One, and he paints that as nail, so I think that's what Caleb likes too. Iceman has stuck. So
Iceman
I like the
Iceman is great.
The Iceman's a great
Granted,
nickname.
2 other people already have that, but
Iceman?
George Gervin.
George Gervin and
Didn't
Val
somebody
Kilmer?
die in?
Val Kilmer.
Oh, Iceman didn't die.
No.
Goose died.
Yeah, you didn't know
Spoiler.
Goose?
Well, no,
oh
I
my
mean,
God, people.
Top Gun Maverick actually, Iceman does die.
Oh yeah,
Excellent.
double
Yeah,
spoiler.
valid point.
Yeah, sorry.
So the one is
know,
better.
know your Top
The
Gun
one is
franchise.
better.
Know
The
your
one is
Top Gun
better.
franchise.
That is great.
How do you think about this new delivery mechanism?
I think
Miles,
it's,
instead of
it
the
doesn't
briefcase?
work, and it's not even on camera. anymore.
I did like it.
Oh man,
It is cool. We
It's
might.
cool.
Why are you wearing these gloves,
I
bro?
think they're cool.
They told me it's not safe.
you. I knew it. I knew it.
I love it.
Every
You
once in a
know it's all
while.
in danger.
But this whole idea is you're wearing a leather jacket and being cool, and somebody in standards and practices was like, we're not allowed to bring out dry ice if we don't make him put on these damn
First of all-
goggles and dishwashing gloves,
That is what-
which are not going to protect you at all.
that is what
You know what else is cool? Safety.
That's right. Couldn't have said it better
job.
myself.
Excellent job.
The Iceman.
Another wonderful addition of Pack Stats and top 5 quarterback, the Ice.
Don't take my briefcase.
Coming up next, Willie Colon and Greg Jennings join us to break down the divisional round.
Thanks for hanging out with us on the OT. We got Greg Jennings and Willie Colon out here. We're talking 1 seeds. We begin in Denver. The Broncos have the Bills, first game of the divisional round slate. Broncos, of course, well rested. Bills coming off the Josh Allen monster game against Jacksonville. So Bo Nix was asked about how he feels about going up against a quarterback at Josh Allen's caliber. Actually, Josh Allen specifically. Take a listen.
He's incredible. He's a MVP of the league for a reason. He continues to make play after play when sort of the game's not necessarily looking like he can make the play. He just goes out there and does superhero stuff.
So the question is, can we see Bo Nix keeping up with Josh Allen? And I know I'm not terribly popular with Broncos fans based on where I've had them in my rankings over the course of the season. And for a time, they were off of it entirely. And then they had some, the Jacksonville win, the Green Bay. They've had some better ones late. But I can't. Like that doesn't mean Denver can't win. But I will be shocked if Bo Nix individually outplays Josh Allen. Like I don't even though Buffalo's defense is worse than Denver's and it's in Denver and Bo Nix is rested and the Denver's rested, it's just very hard for me to believe that Bo Nix is going to outplay Josh Allen. And if that is remedial or reductive, so be it. We can talk about it in the comments. Do you disagree?
Well, I would be shocked if he doesn't at least knuckle up a pair fair with Josh Allen, meaning considering the injuries that the Buffalo Bills are going into this game with, right? You also got to understand, Josh Allen, man, he put on a masterclass on how a dual threat quarterback should look in the playoffs. You're talking about 80% completion rate, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers, and he did it banged up. Yeah. So if you're Bo Nix right now, you understand that you're looking at a dog right now who's been here, done that, and it feels like his window is now, right? So if you're Bo Nix, your level of play has to be ramped up. So overall, man, I hope Bo Nix is ready for a fight because he got one coming at him.
Yeah, look, they don't need him to. They simply don't need him to. They haven't needed him to try to be an elite form of a quarterback all season long. Now, that doesn't mean that they don't want him to. They wouldn't.
And he has for stretches. He's had good fourth quarters.
He's had moments.
Yeah.
But if they can get Bo Nix, if Bo Nix plays a clean brand of football, and what that means, assess the defense, understand and be decisive when you have assessed it and dissected what they're doing. Now you be decisive and understand that you have legs. Use them. You can't panic. The game starts. They're going to throw wrinkles at you. It's going to be a hostile environment. Even at home, it's a playoff environment, so it's going to feel different.
All eyes on you.
Understand you can have a moment where it's like, take a beat, get to the sideline, adjust if things don't go right, and you have the remainder of the game. But you can't turn the ball over. You can't be sloppy. Those types of things only hurt you and that defense that we know can put up points if you allow them
to. And you also have to start faster, right? You can't wait till the fourth quarter for you to feel like you need to wear the cape. I think you have to be able, if you're Bo Nix, understand that this Buffalo team is probably the most resilient team in the playoffs, in the AFC and the NFC. They've been to deep waters, and they've been able to survive it. So if you're Bo Nix, you have to get in rhythm early, win early downs, and able to get the run game going. I agree with you. I think the defense is going to give a lot of chops at the apple. But if we're talking about him specifically, man, play a cleaner brand of football, and realize also, man, that you're going to have to have some explosive plays. You're going to need some explosive plays to survive this game.
That's where I've just struggled with Denver. It's like their record when Bo Nix doesn't have a good game is just total. It just doesn't compute in my brain. It's like you're 6-1 when your quarterback has a passer rating under 85. Like, but it's close wins against bad teams, and it's like the Raiders and the Giants and the Jets. I'm like, what are you going to do when Josh Allen comes to town? Like, I don't think they can afford. He doesn't need to outperform Josh Allen individually. It's not one-on-one basketball. But I don't think they win if he has a bad game. Like, I don't think they win if Bo Nix's passer rating is in the 80s.
Yeah, so here's the deal. I think they can win.
Okay.
Because
they've done it all year, so I guess I'm wrong.
Exactly. They've done it all year. But you talk about when he has those moments, this isn't a defense that gives up a lot of big plays, the Buffalo pass defense. If you use your legs and when the moment does come, you have to execute. That's the one thing we've seen out of Bo Nix, or we haven't seen him do consistently, is when they have a play drawn up, he hasn't hit it, or he is inconsistent ability to execute those plays. In the postseason, you're not going to get a whole lot of those shots. When they present themselves, you have to capitalize.
So let's talk about the other 1 seed. We go to Seattle, where the top-ranked Seahawks are hosting the very short-handed San Francisco 49ers. Right now, they are 7-point home favorites in this NFC West rematch. Of course, Seahawks rested. Niners have the big injury bug. They had George Kittle out for the year last week. Head coach Kyle Shanahan was asked about his team, how they're handling the injuries, the short week, the lack of rest, and the tough circumstances heading into this divisional round matchup. Take a listen.
It is what it is. You're like that this time of year. We kind of been in a hole for about 7 months, and once you get to the playoffs, it really doesn't matter. Everyone's into it. So whether they gave us 3 days, 1 day, 8 days, you always have your preferences for common sense reasons. But whenever you get dealt your hand, you're ready to roll.
Greg, I'll start with you. More likely, Niners upset, Seahawks blowout.
So last time these teams played, Seattle Seahawks.
It was a great game.
It was a great game, and they dominated.
I don't know. It was just for me, it was a compelling watch.
For the Niners, you almost lost Brock Purdy for the year.
They dominated the time of possession. They killed you with the first downs, but they didn't score. And so for me, I just feel like it's more likely that the 49ers upset this Seattle Seahawks team simply because what your head coach just said. Look, man, we've been here. We've done this all season long. We've played this team 2 times. In both times, we've had a chance because of whatever it is, whether we had a chance to score at the end of the game, our defense held up, which they have against this team. Now, obviously, they had some breaks in the last game where they missed a couple field goals. Seattle did, and they just couldn't get it done in the red zone. But you believe that we have enough, even though we can't pressure like everybody else, we can fabricate some pressures to where we can disrupt what you do because we've done it before. And Kyle Shanahan is right, man. Look, everything's in. All hands on deck. We pushing all cards in. Everything, all chips in.
Yeah, you put the chips in. You don't really hold on to the cards.
Yeah, you
just as a poker player.
Put
all in.
Put all the chips in, and you let it. You let whatever happen.
I'm saying if you put your cards in the middle of the table, it's folding.
Yeah. But you know what he was trying to say.
I know. I'm sorry. It's the poker analogy.
This is the gambler.
Sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Help me. You guys are the stats guys. Seattle held the Niners in their last 3 meetings 17-17 and 3 points. Right.
Yeah.
The Niners are smoke. Seattle's going to dog walk the Niners like they did in Week 17. Like I don't see. Listen. I respect Shanahan. And I respect what he's been able to do. I love the duct tape defense and the heart they play with. I love what they did in Philly. But this is Reynolds. This is a wrap. Let's just call it.
I love this from you because didn't you pick them to win?
Who?
In Week 18?
Who?
The 49ers.
Yeah, they lost. I learned from my lessons.
New information.
This is me learning. This is what Brock Purdy looks like versus the blitz. Can we got graphic, Troy? Give me some.
Yeah.
Look at this. Purdy's hard.
Thank you, Troy.
Thank you. I know, Troy, you know what I mean. But anyway, this is Brock Purdy under pressure. He's horrible. Like this is your habits tell me who you are. And if you look at him versus the Seattle Seahawks and this defense, and what's crazy about the Seahawks, they have matchup answers, right? They can blitz you, but they can blitz you and cover you. They're disciplined in the back end. They tackle really well. I mean, they impose their will on you. So once again, I love the story of the 49ers, but this is over.
Listen, I tend to be with you here because now I was wrong last week. We had this exact question. More likely Niners upset or Eagles blowout in front of me. So it was me and Nick. And I said Eagles blowout. And I was wrong. Niners pulled off the upset.
Right.
I do think now you have the Kittle injury. The Seahawks are extra rested with the bye. I do think if I'm just defining blowout as double-digit win, one team is exceptionally healthy. One team is exceptionally injured. The team that's healthy is the team that's at home.
Correct.
It feels like, man, Shanahan's amazing. Purdy's been better than.
It's a good story.
It's a success. Like
without a doubt, Coach of the Year, give it to him.
And they have exceeded all
expectations. These are wounded dogs.
They don't view it that way.
No, of course they. And
but what team would, Greg?
I understand that, but when you have played this team a couple times and you have. Yeah,
this will be the third time.
Yeah,
this will be the third, correct.
When you played this team a couple times and they get close, but you bend, but you don't break, which they have. Like Seattle in the red zone seemed to not show up for whatever reason against this team. So if they struggle to put the ball in the end zone and score touchdowns, you provide this Brock Purdy-led team, I don't care how much pressure you get, an opportunity to have belief, confidence, and feel like we have something left and we're in striking distance to win this game.
Darnold obviously can give it away, but Darnold, when he's not pressured, is pretty good. So I think the Seahawks are in a real good spot. A little preview for Parkin's picks. Applying the eye test to the 9 job openings coming up next on the OT. Gentlemen, it is time now for the eye test. As everyone knows, I see the league clearly. So we look even closer in the postseason. There are 9 job openings. It's almost a third of the league.
Yeah.
I can do the math. So we're going to apply the eye test to which are the best openings for prospective candidates looking for NFL employment. To the bottom row, the Cardinals, Browns, and Dolphins. These are among the worst jobs. The Dolphins, they haven't had a coach last more than 5 years since Don Shula, and Tyreek Hill and Tua are both more than $50 million apiece against the cap next year. But you do get to live in South Beach. The Browns are the Browns. They're basically a punchline into themselves. $80 million cap hit just for Deshaun Watson. Do have 2 first-round picks. I look at Shedeur Sanders' presence there as a negative, not a positive. And then Arizona, they have pieces in place, but it is just a brutal division. It is a absolutely brutal division to work through, and with not having the absolute top pick to go pick your quarterback, I don't see a way out for them for at least a couple of years. To the next row on the eye test, Titans, Raiders, and surprisingly the Steelers. I'll get to the Steelers in a second.
Okay.
I am not a believer in Cam Ward, but if you are, this obviously bumps up. You have the 4th pick and the 2nd most cap space, and you're in a winnable division. But if you take a job with the number 1 overall pick attached to it, he's attached to it. This isn't a late first-round pick, late round pick. Like, Cam Ward's your guy for 2 years, and we've seen coaches be one and done. So that is purely I don't know if I see enough from Cam Ward there. The Raiders have had 5 coaches in their last 8 years and have no talent on offense, so there is no stability there. The Steelers historically don't fire coaches, but I don't know if that is like a 21st century thing or a historical thing. Like, maybe this next coach is going to get 15 years to figure it out, but if he doesn't, they have an old, expensive roster, no cap space, and the 21st pick in the draft. As we go to the next row, the New York Giants and the Atlanta Falcons. Now, the Falcons, to me, there's just a lot of talent. Now, there's not a lot of talent at quarterback, which is a big, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play observation. But you're not married to Penix or Cousins.
True.
And you have an all-pro guard in Lindstrom. You have an all-pro safety in Bates. You have an all-pro running back in Bijan, who just had one of the best under 24 seasons a running back's had in NFL history. Drake London is awesome. If you want to bring back Pitts, he looked good at the end of the year. They finally addressed their pass rush in the last draft, so they got young pieces there. Like, they've got a lot of talent, 2 through 53. You play in a dome, and you play in the easiest division in football. And then the New York Giants, while I am also not as a huge Jackson Dart guy, you can move off the 24th pick in the draft a lot easier than you can move off the number 1 pick in the draft in Cam Ward. And the Giants have talent.
They definitely do.
They have a lot of young talent with Carter and Thibodeau and Thomas and obviously Malik Neighbors. Like, they have some blue chip talent at blue chip positions, and you're in New York. You win there, it's an immortal spot. We can apply that to Pittsburgh, and obviously this one is not very difficult to understand. I don't need the magnifying glass for it. The Baltimore Ravens. They've had 3 coaches ever. They had 6 Pro Bowlers. They have the 3rd most wins in the last 10 years. Stable organization, stable front office, and oh yeah, by the way, 29-year-old in his prime, 2-time MVP, Lamar Jackson, is attached to the job. Some people would view that as a negative if you don't like Lamar for his 30s. I think for at least a couple of 2, 3 of the next 4 years, you'll get elite Lamar Jackson. That is the best job available of the 9, Greg.
Yeah, so the Steelers, in my opinion, you have too low, because even without knowing who your quarterback could be moving forward, you understand that the second best thing for a head coach that they're looking for, if not the first, is how much time would I have?
If they say you have 10 years, okay, fine, then yeah, make it number 1.
And understanding you have draft capital. They got 5 picks in the first 99. They got 12 picks right now as of the 2026 draft. You can do things with those picks. Obviously, you talked about the cap hits. with what they don't have. If you decide
They got the oldest roster in football.
If you decide to start moving and shuffling some of those pieces, it opens up some money there, which they have the option to do. But again, time. If a head coach is understanding, we got the culture set. Organization is going to support me. They're going to allow me to create my plan and execute my vision. That's right next to the Ravens, if not above the Ravens, pending you don't care, you're not tied to Lamar and having to have the pressure of winning right away because you have Lamar.
I would just be guessing. Like, do the Steelers employ coaches for 2 decades at a time because they just believe in it, or because they've only had great coaches? Like, if the next coach struggles, I have a hard time believing it's like, all right, 4 wins, 5 wins, 2 wins. Yeah, we're just going to keep you because we believe in it.
They don't believe in being impulsive, and I think that's the biggest thing about the Pittsburgh Steelers. They allow a coach to figure it out, and they also back him publicly and behind the curtain. They put together a plan where he feels like going into every season he has a legit shot. As far as the eye test for me, man, I'm going to knock down those Raiders and I'm going to bump up those Dolphins. And I get it. You're right. The quarterback situation is a nightmare. The cap is a puzzle in itself. But I watched this team towards the back end of the season, and they started to rally. Go back to that game against Pittsburgh. They were in that game, especially defensively. Tua was absolute horrible. He ended up getting benched. But nevertheless, man, I watched this team, even with Quentin Ewers and how they performed towards the back end. I just believe they have enough. They just obviously got to figure out the quarterback position, and they start adding some more pieces. This could be a good destination for a young head coach.
So the Raiders piece of it, I struggled with it because, okay, they are the opposite of the Steelers. Like I said, 5 coaches in 8 years. Yeah. They just fire you. They're the worst offense in football this year.
And they're still paying their coaches they're fired.
Right.
Yeah.
But they have a ton of cap space and they got the number 1 pick in the draft. So we've seen if Mendoza's the guy, like, right?
And they got some really foundational pieces that are young.
But so I'm just saying, like, if Mendoza, like, so I kind of just put the Raiders in the middle because I was like, well, a quarterback can change everything. Like, honestly.
But they have a lot of holes. Like, outside of Brock Bowers and Genty and obviously Max Crosby.
Crosby's going to be gone, I think.
They don't have much. They're all in the trenches. They're horrible on both sides of the ball.
They are. Do you think the Steelers is the best job, though? Because they don't have much there, but they have the organization.
I think the organizational backing a coach that allow him to grow into the position is probably one of the best destinations. And also, I think right now, like, if they happen to get, and I'm just throwing stuff out here, we dwell in hypotheticals. If they happen to get an A.J. Brown to be a number 2 or 1, however you put it, next to DK Metcalf, both were teammates at Ole Miss, I think you start changing things around offensively. I think Aaron may come back, believe it or not.
You think Aaron comes back without Tomlin?
I'm telling you.
What?
Yeah, I got a feeling.
It's just a feeling.
I got a feeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have that feeling. Today, I'd like to end with a word on why being at Bears-Packers was so special to me that had nothing to do with the final score. I was at the game with my nephew, Jack. He was the one behind the camera taking the videos of me losing my mind. His dad, my brother Brad, passed away from glioblastoma in April of 2023. Brad and I had different moms, but the same dad. And our father was born and raised on the south side of Milwaukee, a diehard Packers fan, like Brad and Jack. And he passed away from Alzheimer's just 6 months before Brad. My dad and I bonded by going to games. When I got a bit older, I did the same with my brother. I was with my parents and Brad when Jordan won his 4th title on Father's Day. This is a picture of us at Lambeau, when I brought my Kansas City radio show there ahead of Chiefs and Packers. They were both so proud of me. I was always close with my nephew, Jack. He credits me with getting him into daily fantasy at Thanksgiving when he was 9. But we got closer when his dad got sick and in the years since. He's in college now at UConn, so he comes down to New York and we go to the Garden for the Big East tournament, just like I did with Brad when I was at Syracuse. You see, I bond with my nephew through sports, just like we both did with our dads. It doesn't matter that I was born in Chicago and root for the Bears and he's a Packers fan. I've been dealing with grief for a long time. First, the anticipatory grief that comes with a terminal diagnosis in the years leading up to their deaths, and then actual grief in the 2+ years since their passing. It crushes me that Brad and Dad don't know that I got this big TV job and moved the family to New York, or where Jack ended up at college, or 1,000 other things. But I know they'd be proud of us. I have Brad out here on the desk with me every day with this pin for brain cancer awareness. When I got back to my hotel after the game, I saw this viral video of the father and son hugging after the Bears' go-ahead touchdown to DJ Moore, and I'll be honest, there have been images like that in the last few years that have made me sad. Because of course I wish Dad and Brad would have been at that game with us in body. But they were with us up here and right here. So the fact that this time I was nothing but happy for that father and son showed me that it does get better with time. And I can't wait to have more moments through sports like Saturday with Jack and eventually my sons when they get older. That was the best part of the game for me, even more than the Bears win and Caleb's throw. Though that throw was pretty sick. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back tomorrow on the OT.